I filled it in. No time for the doubt, they counted me out, I'm getting it in, yeah. No time for no loss, I'm paying the cost, I'm in it to win, yeah. Refuse, mine, it can't be diffused. If you ain't thinking the same, then we playing by different rules. You can't see the vision, we living at different views. Until we complete the mission, keep getting up, never snooze. I walked a mile in my shoes, had the mind of a fool, chasing diamonds and jewels. Trust me, I was confused. Started minding my business and used my mind as a tool. Ended up finding my purpose and found the time to get to it. They told me I couldn't do it, they told me I couldn't make it. They sold it, could never break it. That's sadly mistaken. I need a piece of the pie, I want it so bad I can taste it. They told me like Toby, keep on running toes, they gon' take a few to lose. Built to win, applied myself, I filled it in. No time for the doubt, they counted me out, I'm getting it in, yeah. No time for no loss, I pay for the cost, I'm winning to win, yeah. Refuse to lose, I'm built to win. Applied myself, I filled it in. No time for the doubt, they counted me out, I'm getting it in, yeah. No time for no loss, I'm paying the cost, I'm in it to win, yeah. Refuse.
Welcome back to CTC. I'm your gracious host, Carl, and I'm back with another episode. And today, we're just going to talk about the bracket. I got a special guest. He wanted to help me with the Selection Sunday show yesterday, but he had a men's league game. Shout out to him. He got the dub. But nonetheless, he said, man, we could talk about it tomorrow. I said, no, I'm with it. So without further ado, I'm going to introduce this guy. I went to high school with him. He was a grade level above me. I knew him since my freshman year of 2008. He was actually one of my first high school classes. He was a sophomore. I was a freshman. Played on the basketball team, none other than my boy Tyler. Oh, I got to fix this. How you doing, my boy?
What's up, Carl? Appreciate you having me, man.
All right, man. Go ahead. Let the people know something about yourself. Where you went to school, where you graduated from, all that.
Gotcha. So as Carl said, man, we met back in the Flowers. I was a sophomore. He was a freshman? And I think was it Miss White's class?
Miss White's class.
Yeah, I do remember that. Yeah, Miss White class, man. And always been cool since. And after leaving high school, I ended up at Florida Southern College, which is a Division II school down in Central Florida. Played on the men's basketball team down there. In my 2 years, I transferred in from Prince George Community College. In my 2 years there, I went 52-6 overall. And senior year, we went 36-1 and actually won a Division II national championship my senior year. And during my time there, I actually got the chance to play against some high-level Division I schools as well during the exhibition games. So I've since then, I've been locked into college basketball for sure, just from my experience and also following the generations after me.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And now let them know what you do a little bit after the ball has, been out.
Yeah, the ball it ain't stopped bouncing, man. It just slowed up a little. It slowed up a little bit, but right now I'm currently, not currently, but my career as a physical therapist, and I work on the injury side of athletics now. Just kind of my way of staying around the game a little bit. I don't just do athletes, but they're definitely a main population that I treat now that I've done playing basketball.
Man, that's what's up, man. That's great to hear. Coming as an athletic training student, definitely know how that is. So for sure, love to hear it. So we're gonna get into these brackets, man. Again, my man won a D2 national championship. I already knew that. Congratulate him for it at the time. But without further ado, let's get into these brackets. We're gonna start with the East bracket. And y'all heard me run my mouth yesterday during the Selection Sunday show. If you haven't seen me react to the Selection Sunday bracket as it was released, you can check that episode on my YouTube channel. It's there. But we're gonna start with the East, man. And I'm gonna ask you, Tyler, do you see any potential upsets in the East?
Upsets in the East. I'm looking at it now. Unfortunately, due to this transfer portal situation and NIL and like little regulations amongst it, I have one potential upset in this East region, and that is South Florida over Louisville. Why are you laughing?
Because that's mine too.
All right, cool. We're on the same page. But yeah, the South Florida team, they play pretty fast. They've been pretty dominant in their conference as well. So I've seen a little glimpse of them, and I like also what I see from the analytics side. And they've knocked off, what is this, 11 straight. They've won 14 out of the last 15 games.
Dominant.
Uh, yeah. So, and also I like their opponent, Louisville. I mean, them upset Louisville. I think Louisville has some pretender in them. Um, Not impressed with some of their losses late in the season. Um, and I've actually watched Louisville, and I feel like they're a team that is very volatile. When it's going good, it's going good. But if they have an off shooting night, it could be really bad for them.
Yeah, I agree. That was one of my potential upsets, South Florida over Louisville. I love that they added Joe Pinion from Arkansas State, the shooter. I love Wes Ennis, the leading scorer. And Isaiah Nelson is an athletic 6'8" guy who can protect the rim, explosive, I
Oh
seen
yeah,
him
yeah, yeah.
shot fake dunk from
Yes,
the
I
perimeter
remember.
on Will Berg in the American Athletic Championship game against Wichita State. And I think they're scrappy too. Like they're really good defensively. I watched them a couple times go back-to-back possessions, getting steals, stuff like that. So I think they're very scrappy. And I agree with you on the Louisville aspect as well. Louisville, man, they struggle on the road a ton this year. And obviously in the tournament, there's no home games. There's all neutral sites. So that could be an issue. And my last point with the Louisville potential upset that I agree with you on is Michael Brown Jr.'s health status is in question. Now, granted, they do have Ryan Conwell, who's been averaging about like 18 to 20 points. He is a bucket. But Michael Brown Jr. is a big piece in what Louisville and Pat Kelsey loves to do. And without him, that can be dangerous against the South Florida team, like you said, that can run, who's very scrappy. And they're a really good team as well. And I do think the seeding with South Florida has something to do with the American being a mid-major. The American lost Houston. Memphis wasn't that good. So people don't look at the American this year as a really powerful or talented conference due to those things. So that could be a potential upset to look out for. Now, I had two more in this conference. I had TCU over Ohio State. I love Ohio State, and it sucks to say as a Michigan State alum and fan, but TCU is one of the hotter teams in this bracket as well. TCU came in and ended the season on a 5-game win streak, played Kansas to the end. They lost by 5 to Kansas. Beat Cincinnati, who also was hot in the Big 12 tournament. So TCU is a really good squad led by David Punch, Xavier Edmonds, and Jaden Pierre. But Ohio State does have the guard play to match TCU with Bruce Thor and John Mobley. And I love Amari Bynum. I think Amari Bynum is a pro, the freshman down there. I think Ohio State does have the size over TCU, but I think TCU can compete with Ohio State, and that game could get down to the wire. And my last upset potentially is the 10-7 UCF over UCLA. UCF is a well-coached defensive team by Johnny Dawkins. UCLA does have an injury concern with Tyler Bilodeau, who left the Michigan State game. They do say it's a mild knee sprain, but in that field, a knee sprain can mean anything.
NCL, right?
Yeah, it can be anything. It could be a grade 1. It could be a grade 2. We don't know. So we don't know the severity of that. So that could be a very questionable thing for UCLA. And not for nothing, I will give UCLA this. Donovan Dent has been playing some of the best basketball of late, point guard.
I'd agree.
He has been balling lately. I was happy that Donovan Dent got to finally play some major D1 basketball. No offense to New Mexico. I still root for New Mexico, and I will be rooting for them in the NIT. But UCLA is just a different atmosphere in terms of collegiate levels. New Mexico might have the better atmosphere in terms of playing style. The Pit is that might be a bucket list of mine to go watch a game at the Pit, but in terms of level of competition, obviously the Big Ten and UCLA is better there. So I was happy for him. But I can definitely see UCF playing defense and escaping, especially with the game being in Philly in the 10-7.
Now, let me ask you this. I was going to, real quick, I'm going to ask you this. Does it worry you at all? Like I said, we're just talking like potential upsets. But I've seen UCF has actually lost their last 4 of their last 5. So they went on a little cold streak at the end of their season, and honestly, to some teams that, they're competitive for sure. Baylor competitive, West Virginia, but just going in the tourney, I like and a lot of close games they've had. And I've actually watched UCF. They play very fast. They shoot that ball. Individually, I feel like they should be a little better or have a better record. They don't have a bad record, but as far as in conference, but I'm not sure about them being a cohesive unit at times. But they just individually, I'm like, yo, this team's talented. They got shooters, they got athleticism, they play fast. So I think if they get the pace the way they want it, they can have an advantage over UCLA.
Yeah, so it does worry me how they kind of ended the season. Even the win in the tournament against Cincinnati Cincinnati kind of blew that game more so than UCF won that game, to be honest. So that does worry me. But I think with the week off, again, Johnny Dawkins to me is a heck of a coach. So I think he'll have a good game plan for UCLA. And with the Bilodeau injury, I can definitely see UCF escaping that. But yes, how they ended the season kind of does worry me, because another team, I think down the line, we'll talk about how they ended the season. I can't remember who it was, but I'll get there. I'll remember it. But the way they ended the season kind of worries me as well. But that's definitely a good concern, and I'm glad you brought that up. But again, I think the game being in Philly could be a difference for UCLA as well, because that's huge travel. You're going from LA to Philly, and you already got Mick Cronin, who cries about that stuff already. So that could definitely be a factor.
They should be. Hopefully, they used to it by now, right?
Yeah, you would think, but I don't know. Mick Cronin be crying so much. I honestly had no issue with Mick Cronin. I wasn't
until this season, right?
Yeah, I was indifferent about him until
he kicked his player off the. Kicked his player out the game.
That was against us.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. He kind of rubbed me the wrong way this year. But we'll move from potential upsets to potential dark horses. Any potential dark horses in the East for you?
In the East, dark horses.
I can label off the teams.
I got it right here.
Cool.
I think a dark horse is honestly UCLA. I've like I said, I know we got the injury to Tyler with
Bilodeau.
I always butcher his name, Bilodeau. But I've been impressed with what I saw from them in the Big Ten tournament, and how even they were able to play Purdue pretty well. Got off to a little rough start. Outside of the first 10 minutes, they were able to play pretty well against them, and I think that Mick Cronin is a seasoned veteran coach, and I think he's due for a little run. I think the previous years, I'm looking back now, he hasn't got out of the second round since 2023. That's when they lost to Gonzaga.
Yeah, that year with Tiger Campbell and Hawkins and them.
Yeah, But I think it's not a definite, but I think if anybody would be considered a dark horse in this region, it would be UCLA for me.
Yeah, man, that was a year. Was that 2021 when Jalen Suggs hit that half court against UCLA?
Oh man, I forgot that was Jalen Suggs.
That was Jalen Suggs. That hit that half court game winner.
That was 2021.
Man, UCLA had a team that I think that year too they beat us. Oh man, Mick Cronin might be on my.
Yeah, y'all beat the first. Yeah, OT. I'm looking at it.
He might be on my. Yeah, I might have to dislike Mick Cronin all of a sudden. But anyway, my dark horse is St. John's, the Red Storm. First of all, they shouldn't be a 5th seed. Second of all, this whole region is ridiculous.
You're correct. They should not be a 5th seed. I'm looking at that now. They after they did the UConn and winning the Big East.
UConn by 20 in the Big East championship. And they ran through they dominated the Big East. They had one loss in the Big East, and that was the UConn. And no, they had 2 because they lost to Providence too. That was weird. They lost to Providence. I want to say at home too. That was weird. But they had 2 losses in the Big East. They blew out UConn in the Big East championship. They should not have been a 5th seed. They should not be in this region. I mean, I say that selfishly as a Michigan State fan, but I feel like St. John's can compete with anybody in this region, and let alone beat anybody in this region. Duke has injury concerns right now. Duke is still a great team, don't get me wrong, but Caleb Foster and Patrick Nwamba are 2 key pieces that are out. Well, Nwamba may be back. It's uncertain.
No, he's supposed to be out for the ACC, but they claim he's going to be back.
It's uncertain.
Yeah. And is he 100%? You feel me?
Exactly. So that's my point there. Kansas, to me, Kansas is inconsistent. Kansas, their ceiling could be Final Four, but their floor could be second round exit to St. John's. So,
and so
consistent. Michigan State, if Michigan State, see St. John in the Elite Eight, as a Michigan State fan, I am nervous.
Yeah,
why?
I would be too.
One, because teams can go to zone and we just act like we forgot how to play basketball because we don't have the greatest shooting. We have some shooting, don't get me wrong, but we ain't got a team full of shooters.
Yeah.
And then 2, they have a really great offense. We have a good defense, but sometimes good offense just beats good defense. And I can definitely see that being a potential thing that happens if Michigan State and St. John's play for the Elite Eight. And UConn, as the 2 seed, we seen what St. John's did to UConn in a 3-game sample size. The only game St. John lost to UConn is they had an uncanny 14-minute drought of not scoring a field goal. That was insane. I don't ever think St. John's going to do that again this season.
Now, let me ask you, do you think St. John's has corrected their offensive struggles that plagued them last year in the tournament.
Yes.
And the whole RJ Lewis thing. And okay.
Absolutely. I actually forgot about the RJ Lewis thing. Thanks for reminding me because I did forget about that. But absolutely. Their offense is so good that sometimes I forget Ian Jackson's even on the team. So
tell me about it, right?
So absolutely, I agree. And then I think they did a good job of getting Dylan Mitchell, who to me is like the ultimate glue guy, dirty work guy for St. John. So I think that they have, and Rick Pitino is a great coach, so I think they definitely corrected it. I don't see why so many people feel like you and I might win that first round. Excuse me, I always call it first round because I don't really call the round of 68 the first round, but it's the second round game. I don't see why people got you and I beating St. John's. I actually saw somebody got you and I in the Sweet 16. That is crazy. But I think St. John's is a dark horse. They can beat anybody in this bracket. Any player we should look out for in this bracket, and then we'll move on to another reason.
Any player in this bracket. Let me see. I think I got a couple, and I think some they may surprise you. Not saying that they're going to dominate, but they may do better than we think. Caden Boozer. I know Caleb Foster went down, and I will say this: Duke was my going in to March Madness. I'm not going in, but in the regular season, I was like, hey, Duke is my favorite. I like their length. I like their depth. I think John Shire is a great coach, especially with halftime adjustments. And I think the problem with Caden Boozer is he gets compared to his brother a lot. Right?
Yeah.
If Caden Boozer had a different last name, it was just another incoming freshman. He's been playing really well off the bench as a backup point guard or backup guard. Love his composure. I feel like he kind of knows his role, doesn't try to do too much. So I'm really impressed with Caden Boozer. I think people's problem is they just compare him to, the lottery pick of Cameron Boozer and his impact, and it's not the same. Another player I think we should keep an eye on in this region, at least that I know of, is what's his name? Reed from UConn.
Oh, Terrence Reed.
Yeah, Terrence Reed. I mean, he's known, but I think he's gonna have I got a feeling he's gonna have a big impact in this tournament for UConn, or he has to for UConn to be successful. I remember in his days at Michigan, him as a young freshman and sophomore, he was a problem then. So I think he's just matured now. I think he's a much better coach. Dan Hurley, and that's one thing about this: you can never count Dan Hurley out. He's a psychopath. He's one of the greatest coaches of all time, but you can never count him out. It's funny, they lost that last game to Marquette, and I just knew they were going to beat the hell out of Xavier that first round. But that's why I'm also scared about this horrendous loss to St. John's in the championship, because they probably ran the stadium after that.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised.
I just think Dan Hurley's a great coach as well, and I think he gets the most out of his guys, which is why I think Terrence Reed. I think this is his last go round, right? He's a senior.
I'm not sure if Terrence Reed last go round. I'm not sure if he's a senior.
I can check right now. I'm looking. He is a senior. Yeah, he is a senior. So he as long as he stay out of foul trouble, I think he can be a matchup problem for quite a few guys.
All right, so I like that. I like where you're going. I'm gonna stay on the same team for one, but I'm gonna go Silas Demery. Silas Demery is a point guard transfer from Georgia.
Yeah,
definitely dish the rock. Here you can definitely get solo ball and Alex Caravan in the spots, and he can score the ball on his own as well. So he's a guy I would like to look out for. Dominique Daniels, I think, is a name people is going to get to know from Cal Baptist. He's a top 5 scorer in the country. I don't know if you watched the WAC championship between Cal Baptist.
I didn't get a chance to catch that. No,
that joint was late as hell. The game didn't end until 3 in the morning. But
oh my god!
And I ain't gonna lie, I did not watch the whole thing. I woke up to the last 4 minutes. But Dominique Daniels in them last 2. Them 3 threes, especially that step back 3 to put him up by 2 to ultimately win it.
Oh, I saw that highlight. I did see that highlight. From
Dominique Daniels went ballistic in the game to win it.
Yeah, that was some big ballsy shit. Yeah.
Oh, my fault. I forgot
my bad.
We are PG on this pod. That's on me.
My bad.
I did not tell you. That's on me. But man, he's going to be a name. I think people can be like, "Who's that?" I think he can really score with the best of them. I don't know if you remember that week where AJ went for 46 and Keaton Wagler went for 47 and Kingston Fleming. He actually, I think, went for 40 or 50 something that week, that same weekend. I can't remember the exact number, but he also matched those freshmen that weekend. But he was a senior, and the freshmen what they did kind of overshadowed it.
I remember that highlight too from that championship because he was like 1 of 10 or something like that from 3 before that, and just to have the goal to take that step back for the game is nuts.
Yeah, and unfortunate for Utah Valley, they missed a dunk to tie it, open dunk to tie it.
Oh man,
yeah, they missed a wide open dunk to tie it. And
well, shoot, they also went 14 to 24 from the free throw line, so
unfortunate
too. Yeah,
very unfortunate. But yeah, I think Dominique Daniels is a name to look out for the tournament. Bruce Thornton obviously is a name to look out for to me in this tournament, especially against TCU. I think Bruce Thornton is a guy who can generate his own offense. He almost single-handedly beat Michigan State in the Breslin earlier in February. So Bruce Thornton would be the last name I would say to look out for in this tournament. And with that being said, we'll move on to the South region, where I'm going to start asking you the same questions. Potential upsets in the South region.
So I got one of them made, one of them possible. I'm going to start with, and like I said, these are potential. Troy over Nebraska. Troy's a tough team. I feel like they're well rested at being in the Sun Belt, having to, how that gauntlet is. I took care of Georgia Southern in the championship. And I think Nebraska, I think people have figured them out a little bit. They started 20-0. And then since then they've, lost 6 games. I don't know how many, but 6 out of like 12. Yeah, they went 6-6 in their last after starting 20-0. They went 6-6. And don't get me wrong, Nebraska, they can get hot, but I feel like if Troy watches enough film of them, they can kind of pick how to game plan against Nebraska and slow them down a little bit. I also like Troy because let me see. I think I had some notes on them. Sorry, give me a second, Carl.
Go ahead,
yeah, they do well in the paint for sure. Like they're in their championship game, they went 25 out of 34 with 2-pointers. That's 73%. So it's not like they're relying on the 3 ball. Where like in March, if you are a team that relies on the 3 ball heavy like Nebraska, that could come back to bite you. So that's just the potential upset I'm seeing. And then another one, which I'm sure you've heard about, is the VCU over North Carolina.
You got it right here in the comments.
Yeah, VCU over North Carolina. VCU, they've gotten better from last year. Actually, the manager from my championship team, he's actually on assistant coach for the VCU.
Yeah, shout out to him, man. Shout out Phil Martelli, first year from Bryant, won the A10 tournament. Yeah. And the A10 with St. Louis split conference championship.
They got a good freshman, Nick Lewis, who's from the area.
Yep.
I know Nick personally. And Caleb Wilson going down. I think North Carolina did well ending the season, but I'm not a believer in Hubert Davis as a coach either. So I think that's a potential upset we could see. But the reason why that's my possible is just because they're everybody's, they're most people's potential upset in that region, and they're a public, kind of like a public favorite or public underdog, excuse me. So I'm sure North Carolina is aware that, VCU, everybody likes VCU to upset them. So I don't know how North Carolina is going to react to that.
So I'm actually not on either of your upsets, to be honest.
Right.
I'm not. I do think Nebraska will get it done against Troy. I do think Troy is a tough team. Don't get me wrong, especially like you said, they survived that gauntlet of the Fun Belt, as some people call it, which was crazy. They had 6 teams tied for second place, and Troy was the absolute outright winner of the conference championship and the conference tournament. And they did end the Georgia Southern Cinderella run, which I kind of was rooting for after a while after they put out to win it. But I do think Nebraska with Price Sanford and Rick Mass can establish a presence down low. I love Sam Hoiberg and his tenacity he brings on the floor. Jamarcus Lawrence is a 3-point shooter. And I think Braden Frazier could be like a huge X factor for Nebraska against Troy.
Don't get me wrong. I still have Nebraska winning, but like
I got you.
Potential. I still got Nebraska winning. But
my potential upset, I have Iowa over Clemson as a 9-8.
Gotcha.
I love Bennett Sturts. I think Bennett Sturts can score with the best of them. Another D2 guy who worked
Yep.
his way up. He was D2, then he
Yep.
was D1 mid-major at Drake with Coach Ben McCullum. And now
Yep.
Ben McCullum took him to Iowa with him, and now they are a 9 seed. I definitely think they could beat Clemson. Well, Clemson got the injury to Carter Villing. I don't think he's available for the tournament. So that's my potential upset there. I think that's my only one. Oh, this is, you got a possible, I got a possible. And I'm sorry to do this to you. McNeese does have the potential to me to upset Vanderbilt.
All right, go explain that. Go explain that. I think they have some strength. I think they have some weaknesses too. Well, go ahead.
I think that McNeese has the guard play defensively to give Tyler Tanner and Duke Miles some troubles. I think McNeese can play 94 feet. We've seen it in the Southland Conference Tournament Championship against Stephen F. Austin. I think that if Javon Garcia can get hot like he did in the tournament, it can be crazy. They're led by Larry Johnson and Tyshawn. I forget his last name. I think it's Tyshawn. It's Archie. I think it's Tyshawn Archie. But McNeese, I think they're
Archie.
Yep. I think they're a problem defensively. They can get in you 94 feet, man. And then they got Garway Dual, who has some Big East experience playing at Seton Hall and I believe Providence. He's a good defender. I just think defensively, if they can disrupt Vanderbilt, disrupt Tyler Tanner, get a hand in Tyler Nichols' face, try to control or keep them out of the paint, I think the game could get crunchy down the line. So McNeese is a potential upset I can see as well. I do not have Iowa over Florida. Florida will boat race Iowa.
Yeah, I saw that comment.
If Iowa get past Clemson, like I think they will, Florida will boat race them. Iowa does not have the size to deal with Florida. But those are my potential South region upsets.
Can I talk about that, the McNeese side as well? So I looked at that. And you know, I have, like I said, I told you earlier before the show, my coach is on the coach staff. And, my old coach is on.
That's why I said I'm sorry. Staff. I got to do it to you. I said this on my Selection Sunday show. So,
I think McNeese has some weaknesses. I wonder. I still, I feel like, are they still like a paint heavy team?
Not necessarily. Like they're not like they're not. Left. So they're not a. Even with Will Wade, they didn't really have size, but they more so predicate their game of like attacking, like the guards attacking and then either finishing or maybe kicking out. But they're not.
And I will say, Vandy is not supposed to be a 5 seed, in my opinion. I can
agree with that, but I will also say that Vandy dropped games that I can see why they're a 5 seed.
Yeah, you're right. So yeah, I think they're vulnerable to a team like McNeese, who a little more scrappy, can rough them up or be physical with them for sure. So like I said, I see exactly what the angle you're coming from.
Yeah, man. So we move on from potential upsets. Oh, I did want to say this: Texas A&M was the team I was talking about.
Gotcha.
They're a team that was finishing the season bad. So I have St. Mary's winning that game.
All right, gotcha.
But we move from potential upsets to potential dark horses in this bracket. Any potential dark horses?
I think Illinois
could be an answer.
Gotcha. I think Illinois
as a 3. I don't know if that's technically a dark horse.
You're right. And when I say I think I was thinking Illinois as far as like making a run all the way to like Final Four. But I don't know if that's still considered a dark horse.
Let's see. I consider a dark horse to me. Is anybody between a 5 and a 9, and anything 10 and back is like Cinderella.
Gotcha. Okay, fair enough. I think, all right, if anything, I think North Carolina. Now, I know that kind of contradicts my previous possible.
Trust me, my answer about to contradict mine. Go ahead.
So I think North Carolina be a possible dark horse. I know a lot of people look at Caleb Wilson's injury as like a big hit to them. I know they did depend on him, but as I stated before, I think I like the way they ended outside of that loss against Clemson in the ACC tournament. I think I like the way they ended the season against some pretty stout competition, Louisville, Clemson. And like I said, they played Clemson just a week before the ACC tournament, so that matters. And Duke on their senior night, you're going to lose.
Yeah, no Caleb Wilson. Exactly.
Yeah, right. But I think, college basketball is much more team heavy or team oriented than individual oriented. So even though they lost a guy who could help them a lot, as you got to adjust as a team. And I think that if they're able to get past VCU, I'm not saying they shouldn't have a problem. VCU is going to be a little tough battle for them. I could see them making a run. Let's see who would they get paired up to next.
So they
They
will
get
play
paired up to
Illinois next.
Illinois. And I think if shots are falling, my only concern is that the big man they got, what's his name,
Henry
Vezar.
Vezar. Henry
Yeah,
Vezar.
yeah. If he can not play soft, do his thing. I think they could be a potential dark horse.
So I want to piggyback on what you said real quick. So yes, they did lose Caleb Wilson, but I think gone with Caleb Wilson was the emergence of Zayden High. Zayden High has been playing exceptionally well since Caleb Wilson has been injured and he's been inserted more into the lineup.
Yeah,
I feel like
man up.
Stevenson. I feel like Jaren Stevenson's been playing better since Caleb Wilson got hurt. Not saying that they have not saying they have replaced the production of Caleb Wilson because you're not doing that. But like you said, the game is more team oriented in college, and I think those guys have stepped up in those absences. North Carolina also showed you flashes. I mean, this was with Caleb Wilson, and I believe they shouldn't have won this game, but they did beat Duke on their home floor, and I felt like they shouldn't have won that game. Duke led that wire to wire. Seth Trimble just hit a game-winning three at the wrong possible time to take the lead and win it. They only had like one bad loss, in my opinion, of recent, and that was without Caleb Wilson and Henry Vezar is when they lost by like 30 to NC State. But they missed both of their front court pieces. And to me, North Carolina was led by their front court, so that was big. But my dark horse, it would have been St. Mary's if they didn't play Houston in the second round. It is Vandy. Funny enough, my potential upset and my potential dark horse is
You're
Vandy.
if they get past McNeese physical, they could.
I think they're going to make a run. If they get past McNeese, they will play the winner of of Nebraska and Troy. I think they could beat either one of those teams. Then they will play Florida. They've shown to be competitive versus Florida. The first game they played, the only game they played in the regular season, they lost by 4.
Yeah.
Then they beat Florida in the SEC tournament semifinals. So that would be the tiebreaker against Florida. And I think Vanderbilt has a team that has shown that they can compete with Florida. So then you will have Florida. You can get past Florida. It'll be Vanderbilt, Houston. I've been a Houston guy for years. I mean, I love me some Kelvin Sampson. But I don't think this Houston team is as scary as they've been in the past.
It's not.
Even close.
It's not.
I think this Houston team might be a little overrated.
I think so too.
Being honest,
offensively and defensively.
So I think Vanderbilt could beat Houston. So Vanderbilt is my potential dark horse in this South region. Do you have any players to watch in this region?
Players to watch.
We all know the obvious one.
Yeah, for sure. I think what you said, Stevenson from North Carolina. Okay. I've seen him step up big time in a couple, here and there. I think he just needed opportunity. So I like Stevenson a lot. I'm trying to think, looking. Players to watch. Put it like this. In order for Florida to make a deep run, in my opinion,
I'm listening.
I think they're going to need Xavier Lee to step up.
Facts.
I think they're going to need Xavier Lee. He has been, in my opinion, a disappointment since he's been at Florida. They've just been able to work around. As far as the hype coming in,
I think he's been a disappointment to start. I think he's picked it up of late.
I think he's found his role.
Yeah, I think
he was putting up a lot more shots at the beginning of the season. So now he doesn't have as much contribution when it comes to taking the shots. Like I think, he shot 5 shots in their win against Kentucky, and was that the first round of the?
That was the quarterfinal.
Quarterfinal.
I think they went all the way to the quarterfinal before they played their first game.
Yeah. So he he's his as far as distribution of shots and all that, I think other guys have been stepping up. And that may be a confidence thing. I don't know, but he was putting up bricks beginning of the season. But
it was bad.
So I think March is a guard thing where you're going to need your guards to at some point take over. And Florida is really big heavy, with the big, I forget his name. Condon. Yeah.
Even Thomas Howell.
Thomas Howell.
Yep.
But I don't think Boogie Flang can do it by himself. And even they got the guy off the bench who reminds me of like a Peyton Pritchard type guy.
Yeah. I think he wants to spend a year in the SEC.
But I think a player to watch is Xavier Lee. Not saying he's going to show up, but if Florida's going to, do back-to-back, he got to show up.
I respect that. I feel that. All right, so I got a couple, man. I'm going to start with UPenn TJ Powers. TJ Power had 44
44.
points and 14 boards in the upset against Yale in the Ivy League championship.
Oh man,
He went bonkers. Like I said on the R2L show, I know a lot of people criticize Coach Jones or why you ain't foul up 3. I didn't see my Pistons play this Cavs, and they fouled Dennis Jenkins up 3, but he got in this motion before the foul, and we got 3 free throws.
I'm gonna keep it 100. My national championship game, matter of fact, Bellarmine, who's D1 now.
Yeah, they're D1 now.
We played them. We played them in the Final Four of my D2 championship year. Mm-hmm. We had played Bellarmine, not to make it too long. We had played Bellarmine earlier in December, beat them at their home, at their place in overtime. Mm-hmm. One hardest team I ever played when it comes to Division II. Because they passed the ball, they screen, all that. Played them again, Final Four. My teammate hit a game-winning shot, up 3. Well, game-winning, 5 seconds left. We're up 3. We're watching the tape. I'm guarding the point guard as he's dribbling head to me. We're up 3, and on the tape they're saying they need a foul. They need a foul. We elected not to foul. I was me and him 1-on-1. I got a hand up. He missed. It worked out in our favor. So it's one of those hindsight things where
exactly. That's exactly where I was about to go.
It's hindsight 2020.
I'm not a foul up 3 type of guy. We
I'm not
play
either.
This out.
Yeah, I'm not
man,
either.
Earn your money. And he just hit an incredible shot.
Yeah. Now, unless you got fouls to give, I understand that. But yeah, if he's the one that's just shooting, no.
I agree, man. I don't kill Yale's coach for that, man. It is what he hit a good shot, and then OT they won it, man. You tip your cap, be up 3. I mean, there's plenty of plays prior to that which possibly could have won you the game that you ain't make. So I wasn't part of that. Shout out to Bro in the comments. Arizona continues to show they're in the elite tier their own. We're gonna get to their bracket or their region in a second. I'm not falling for it. I'm sorry. I've been scoring by Arizona way too much in my March Madness past. I ain't falling for it.
We just skipped to Arizona because of that call.
No, we ain't gonna skip to them yet. But I'm just letting him know. Okay. When we get there, don't be surprised. And I think Duke is actually the number 1 overall seed, not Arizona. But shout out to you. Another player for me to watch. I mean, I kind of want to stay away from the obvious ones, but this one's gonna be an obvious one. I'm sorry. Bennett Sturts. If Iowa is solely dependent on Bennett Sturts having a good game. If he's not having a good game, Iowa 9 times out of 10 is not winning. So Bennett Sturts is a name to watch. Let's see if I got one more I want to pull out. Terrence Hill for VCU. Terrence Hill for VCU is a bucket. So I think that's a name to watch as well. So if he can get going, scoring a rock, it will be a tough game between UNC and VCU. And we'll move on actually to the next region, which is the Midwest region. Any potential upsets for you in the Midwest region?
I'm looking now. I got Missouri over Miami. I like Missouri over Miami.
I'm on the other side.
Okay, and
hold on. That's the West. We on the Midwest.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was okay. So I got it. So 1, I got St. Louis over Georgia.
I also disagree.
All right, and then 2. I got Hofstra over Alabama.
I'm gonna disagree with you on that too. I know my boy just got popped for something crazy, but I'm gonna still disagree.
And so part of the reason I say St. Louis is that I think analytically they fared pretty well with Georgia. I feel like Georgia plays to the level of their competition. I think they can beat the best, but I think they can also lose to people they're not supposed to lose to. And I think St. Louis is they're very well seasoned as far as they got a good amount of veterans. We got Robbie, who's been there before. Got another senior, another junior in the starting lineup. They're not too old as far as experience, but they got enough guys who've been there, and they're well balanced. So it's like a couple of them that can shoot close to 40 from 3. I don't feel like they depend on one person. So I feel like they're hard to stop when it comes to a team to get hot. And I know they are in a top-ranked team when it comes to what they call kill shots for teams that can go on like a 10-0 run, just like that. So I think if St. Louis gets hot, they could definitely make a run and beat Georgia.
You've seen that against VCU when VCU started off crazy, and then St. Louis made a run back to ended up blowing them out at home. But here's my thing with St. Louis, man, because I agree. But just like you said about Nebraska, St. Louis started off hot, 21-0.
Yeah.
They went on to lose 3 of their last 6, and that's why VCU was able to win a share of the A-10. And then they blow the game against Dayton in the tournament.
Oh
St.
man,
Louis
that
has been on a downward trajectory going into this tournament. So
Mhm.
that's why I have Georgia winning this game. Because I don't know if I trust St. Louis to get back to the St. Louis of early to midway through the season. So that's why I'm going there. Now, Bama, the reason why I can't go against Bama, one, I love Nate Oates to death. I'm a huge Nate Oates guy. Been a big Nate
Okay.
Oates guy for years. I have a short on my channel actually saying before Todd Golden, because Todd Golden might be the best coach in the SEC now, where I was calling Nate Oates the best coach in the SEC at a point of time. But Alabama scores the ball efficiently and elite at elite levels. So that's why I don't have them losing to Hofstra. Nothing against Hofstra. Shout out Coach Speedy Claxton and what he's done at Hofstra. I just think Bama offensively is just way too elite. Now defensively, Bama sucks. I can't lie to you there. Bama defensively needs a lot of help. But offensively, crazy. Now,
I got you.
My potential upsets.
Oh, can I explain why for Hofstra?
Oh yeah, go ahead. Do your thing.
So Hofstra, it's funny. I may be a little biased. I actually went to Care First Arena to watch the CAA championship when they faced Monmouth.
Yeah. That game was good.
Yes. Speedy was crying at the end and all that. I like how they battled. And it's going to be interesting to see. And it's crazy because I wasn't the biggest. What's his name? Aiden. The kid who just got kicked off. I wasn't the biggest Holloway fan when he was on Auburn. When he was on Auburn.
Okay.
Auburn, yeah. I think with Nate Oates, he was able to, he developed his body some. Nate Oates put him in a situation where he could thrive. And it's going to be interesting how soon this is losing him because he's like a 17-point per game scorer.
Second leading scorer.
So how they can adjust. And Hofstra is no slouch on defense.
No.
No, and that's losing, going up against a well defensive team with a coach like Speedy Claxton, losing your 17-point per game score can, I feel like, leave you a little vulnerable, maybe some holes in your offense if the guys don't know where they need to step up at to cover what Aiden Holloway missed. So I feel like 17 points is a lot to make up, and it's not just making up 17, but who takes it, when to take it. It's just so much that I feel like they lost with him. And as you notice, Bama is like, we're gonna outscore you. So it's gonna be interesting that two dynamic where Hofstra is more defensive, Bama's more offensive. And I liked Hofstra earlier in the year. They started out pretty good. Then they had a slump in the middle of the season, but after their 5-game slump, they ended the season pretty strong as well, beating several conference opponents twice. So I think they've got it clicking right now. That's one reason too.
Even that Towson game, that was a game. And pulled that one out.
Yeah.
And shout out to bro from Towson. Was it Timberlake? Not Timberlake. I always say his name. It's not Timberlake, bro. Was it Williamson?
Dylan Williamson. Yeah,
Dylan Williamson from the area. He's tough. My thing with Bama is they've won games without Aiden before. Aiden was dealing with injuries earlier in the year. I think in the SEC year. They got guys like Latrell Ricel from who's a senior from Cal State Fullerton. He's a shooter. Houston Millette shooter. So they got some guys that can step up. I think Ricel is going to be the guy that steps up for Holloway. And Amari Allen. Amari Allen too. He's tough. So
hold on, real quick. I think I had another note about Hofstra.
Go ahead.
No, it was somebody else. Sorry. Go ahead. You're good.
All right, cool. My potential upset. I said this on the R2L show. I said this on.
Oh, sorry. I did have another thing about Hofstra. Sorry. I was impressed with their non-conference opponents too. They played UCF, first game of the season at UCF, lost by 4. Even though all these aren't, tournament teams, I feel like they're quad 1, quad 2.
I mean, UCF is a good one for sure.
Yeah, no, they beat the heck out of Penn, who your boy Powers. At their place. They beat Syracuse at their place, so they've got a all right resume.
So disappointing.
I know, but they're still quad 1, quad 2 when it comes to a team like Hofstra. So they've battled. I feel like Syracuse still is a giant to Hofstra.
That's facts. That's facts.
So what I'm saying is they're not new. Alabama's still on a different level than Syracuse, but they have some experience with the other teams and also in an unfamiliar environment.
Shout out my boy J-Mo. No, Towson had a guy, Nick Timberlake, once upon a time, and that's why I always say his name by accident. But shout out my boy J-Mo. What I was about to say. I did float the idea since Syracuse has fired Adrian Autry, that they should go after Jerry McNamara at Siena. So I did fuck that idea out there. I thought that'd be a good move. I mean, I feel like it'll get the NIL money flowing. You bring in a guy from the national championship team to come coach Syracuse's alma mater.
You're right.
But my potential upsets. First one, I don't know if you're gonna agree with me, but this is potential. Akron over Texas Tech. I think that's a potential upset.
I was looking at that. I don't agree, but I was definitely. I can't be mad at you for that.
The only reason why this is a potential upset is one, we know JT Toppin's out for the year. And Christian Anderson is dealing with a groin. I don't know how well that groin is.
I know. I love Christian Anderson too.
I love Christian Anderson. I'm so glad he ain't go to Michigan because then I would have to hate him. But he went to Texas Tech, so I love him. And he's a big. And I know guys like Jalen Petty and Donovan Atwell have stepped up in the absence of JT Toppin and possibly Christian Anderson. But if Christian Anderson does not play, Grant McCaslin has a tough coaching job ahead of him, and especially out coaching John Gross. John Gross is a heck of a coach for Akron. He has a great guard, Tavari Johnson. Samad Scott, he can hit the outside shot. He had actually the game-winning 3 against Toledo to win that ball game. So I think Akron can definitely keep pace with Texas Tech, depending on whether Christian Anderson play or not. Another potential upset I have, and this is my only other one I have in this conference, in this region, excuse me. Santa Clara over Kentucky is a potential upset I can see happening.
So I didn't research that game just yet, but I've seen Santa Clara play, and I saw Santa Clara play in their conference tournament a little bit, and I was very impressed with them. Yeah, I was very impressed. So like I said, I'm with you on that. Even though I didn't call it out, I'm with you on that.
They can get Kentucky some issues, man. Now, first of all, I would like to say this. I feel like people give Mark Pope a hard time at Kentucky, and I think he's actually done a better job.
It's just Kentucky fans.
Yeah.
It's just Kentucky fans.
At one point, they were second in the SEC. Like, I get it, bro. Y'all, I don't get it because y'all only won one natty with John Calipari, and it's an AD to be like, y'all score, I'm going to play defense for y'all to win it. Other than that, Calipari has had some disappointing tournaments. Now, don't get me wrong. Calipari did had an undefeated season. He did go to the Final Four. I was actually at that Final Four because Michigan State played Duke there. And we got beat by like 20. That's when they had Justice Winslow and Jaleel Okafor and them. They dogged us. But I mean, I get it. Y'all had some very high highs with Cal, but y'all had some very low lows with Cal as well. So let my man Mark Pope do his thing. He's part of that Kentucky championship team, and I think he's done a pretty okay. I say he's done a pretty good job there. But Santa Clara, man, I think they can play with Kentucky. I think they can run with Kentucky. I think their guards can play with Kentucky. I think they're a solid defensive team. The only thing Kentucky really has over Santa Clara is the size. Santa Clara really doesn't have the size to compete with Kentucky. And I think if Kentucky wins that game, that will be the deciding factor in that game is the size of Brandon Garrison and Malachi Marino. But other than that, Santa Clara got Christian Hammond. He's a bucket.
Yes.
He can score.
He's league.
Yeah, Christian Hammond is tough.
He's league.
Allen Grove is a solid guy in the paint for Santa Clara. They do have just then they says he's preparing to play without Aiden Holloway in the NCAA tournament, which sucks to see. But they do have a guy who's a 7-footer. He doesn't play major minutes. I think sometimes he kind of messes up the flow for Santa Clara and Bucky Aboye, but he can be serviceable at times. So those are my potential upsets. Any dark horse in this Midwest region?
Midwest region, dark horse. Looking. Oh yes. 5. What do you say? 5 to 9.
I say 5 to 9. I say 10. If you got a Cinderella, I'm all for it too.
I think dark horse is Santa Clara. I think they could be a dark horse. I think they play well offensively. I think they play well together. I think they, like I said, we got a league player on that team in Christian Hammond. And then I can't do Texas Tech. No.
I was thinking about it too, bro.
I just, like I said, they got these 2 banged up right now. And I think St. Louis.
You got St. Louis passing Michigan?
No, I don't. But we're talking potential.
32.
We're talking potential though. We're talking potential.
I can't see it.
I thought you'd be happy being a Michigan State fan.
I would love to see it. I would love to see it. But I can't lie either. I show no bias on my show. I can't see it.
No, like I said, I put it like this. I am not impressed with Elliot. I don't think Elliot Cadeau can lead your team.
Thank you. My God, thank you.
And
I'm so glad you said that.
I don't think LA Cadeau could lead your team as a point guard on national championship. So I'm not saying St. Louis is going to be the team, but it's going to be interesting to see him in future opponents when when the money's on the line. But like I say, St. Louis was a reach. I agree, but I think Santa Clara, if anybody, for sure.
I ain't got one. I'm sorry.
I think you said you can't have one.
No, I said none could be an answer.
Okay. And hold on, I might have another possible.
Don't say it, bro, because if you do, I'm gonna disagree.
No, I'm actually going SMU.
Oh, I can rock with you on that. I can see SMU. They've been dropping games though, but if they can figure it out, and if BJ Edwards come back too, I think that's a big piece.
Yeah, I've seen them at their best, and I was impressed. And like I said, they're a little hard-nosed team as well. Like I said, recently they haven't been doing well, but hopefully they can get it clicking. Like I said, I got them beating Miami, Ohio.
I do too. I'm sorry, I love Miami, Ohio. But I do too.
But like I said, then they would face what?
They would play Tennessee.
They would face Tennessee. Okay, Tennessee. Yeah, and
Miami of Ohio is the getting game.
Yeah.
For Tennessee.
And if they beat Tennessee, they got the winner of Iowa State and whoever comes out of that.
They would play Virginia and Wright State if they beat Tennessee.
Oh yeah, okay, gotcha. Yeah. So yeah, I guess I can see that. But if they get their stuff together, but it's hard for me to really say that with conviction when they in the season ended it pretty poorly.
Games. Even the Louisville,
even to the teams they dropped it to, Cal, Stanford. These teams ain't in the big games.
And then BJ Edwards, the last time I seen him, he had a boot on his foot. Like, is he coming back?
Yeah. What is his injury?
I don't know, but like I said, I seen a boot. I seen him wearing a boot, so that's not convincing.
Right.
So I can definitely see it at the height of their powers, but I can also see Texas Tech if Christian Anderson come back and at the height of their powers. Because not for nothing, Texas Tech it was some top team in the Big 12 right after they beat TCU. Maybe it was it. Man, I'm so mad I'm blanking on this.
No. They only played TCU once this year and they lost to them.
Then it wasn't TCU. Then they must have blew out Cincy. Then I must have mistaken that one.
It was a blowout.
Yeah, I'm trying to.
Or was it Kansas State they blew out?
Maybe
they lost to Arizona State. I'm looking at it now. They lost to Arizona State,
but I think that was the game where JT got hurt. I want to say that's the game that JT got hurt in.
Let me see. He played 32 minutes. So
that's the game he got hurt. That was his last game. That was the game he got hurt in.
Then they blew out Kansas State by 28 in that game. They played
somebody big, and I didn't expect them to win because of injuries.
Iowa State.
Ended up winning
That's
the game. In Ames, Iowa. That's the game I was talking about. That was because Iowa State at the time was undefeated at home, and I literally gave
Donovan Atwell had a game.
I gave them no shot to win that one, and they actually won it. And I thought the reason why I gave them no shot really was because Iowa State just was killing teams at home.
And they're pretty good at home. Yeah. They're strong at home.
Exactly. That was the game I was looking for. That I couldn't pull up. It was after the Cincinnati game. Yep. So, but Texas Tech, man, they can beat Akron. They can definitely beat Bama.
Mm-hmm.
Then that would lead to Michigan, though. With no JTs. That's a wrap. I'm sorry. They don't have the size. Michigan is ridiculously talented, and they have the size of Damar 7'4". He pisses me off so much.
And so I think my strategy with Michigan, not strategy, but I can see this happening is, foul trouble happening.
Yeah.
Foul trouble early.
Yeah, but the thing with that is they still got Yaxel. They still got Morez Johnson.
Hey, it could happen. I remember watching a Duke game this year. I forget which Duke game. Duke ended up winning, but it was a situation where all three of Duke's big men had 2 fouls in the first half.
I think it was Duke and Pitt.
On
them out, but it was close for the majority.
Yeah, I think 2 of them he picked up three fouls.
Malik Brown got in foul trouble super early. Patrick Walker got in foul trouble.
So I mean, I think I'm not saying that's going to happen, but in a situation you never know with March.
Yeah, I'm gonna pick one though, because I don't want to not pick one.
Gotcha.
I might have to go Kentucky.
Okay.
If Kentucky can pass Santa Clara, I feel like Iowa State is a super tough test.
But again, Iowa State
I
can
feel
be
like
inconsistent.
I'm not a big Iowa State fan when it comes to tournament time.
Exactly.
I feel like they're underachievers.
I feel like Kentucky can beat Iowa State. Kentucky can beat Virginia. And Kentucky owns Tennessee for whatever reason. No matter what the lead is, Kentucky's going to get right back in that game against Tennessee. It happened both times they played. Tennessee was up big. Kentucky came back and won both times. So Kentucky kind of got Tennessee hot. So I'll take my dark horse as Kentucky. If they can get past Santa Clara, get past Iowa State, I can see them matching up with Michigan in the Elite Eight for the battle of the Midwest region. Ultimately, I have Michigan winning it, though. I hate to say this as a Michigan State fan, but I just think Michigan is too. First of all, I like to say Yaxu Lundenberg definitely broke my heart last year. I was talking about Yaxu Lundenberg nonstop at UAB last year. He was one of my favorite players in college, and then he goes to Michigan. I was so mad. I was hoping he went to the draft, but then I saw he not going to the draft. I was pissed, man. I ain't gonna lie. But let's move on to players to watch in the Midwest, and then we'll move on to our last region.
Players to watch in Midwest. Of course, I think we said it before. Christian Hammond.
Facts.
A lot of people don't know him because he goes to Santa Clara. But like I said, if you've been keeping track with, like I said, there was a WCC. Like I said, you've heard the name before. I even think the kid, he's from this area, from Tennessee.
No, is Nate Amon from here? Yeah, Nate Amon. Ain't he from here?
Tall. He's from like
6'10"
Virginia.
forward.
Yeah,
Yep. He's from here.
Nate Amon. I think he's one to watch. Interesting how he's going to do. I think he's known, but Latrell Wrightsell, with the absence of Aiden, I think he's going to have a big shoes to fill with his role and Aiden's role. But I think he's if anybody's going to fill it, it's going to be him. You know, he's a what did Vitale say? He's a PTP.
Yep.
He's a primetime player for sure.
100%. I watched him at Cal State Fullerton. He was so tough.
Oh yeah. So those are right now. Those are my three. I'm trying to think of any more, but those are my three right now to watch.
So I agree with all three. I actually was going to name all three. So I'm going to piggyback off you and say Somto Cyril, the big man from Georgia. I love watching him play. He can move. He has a motor. Great shot blocker. A super athletic big man. I love Somto Cyril from Georgia. I'm going to say Aaron Akroma, player of the year in the Ohio Valley Conference. Plays for Tennessee State. Coached by Nolan Smith. I've given Nolan Smith so much praise on my pod. He can score. He can go. Both of them guards. Him and Travis Rudolph. I think that's his name. No, it's not Travis Rudolph. Travis Rudolph is the receiver that had that allegation and all that. I'm blanking on his name. It's Travis.
Tennessee State.
Yeah, it's Travis.
Travis Harper.
Yeah, I keep saying Rudolph is that receiver from Florida State. But man, those two guards for Tennessee State, they can go. And then they still have Dante Harris, who played at Georgetown, who can facilitate the rock. But Aaron Akroma for sure is the name I would watch. Deus DeRitter from Virginia. I would watch him. He can do it off of Virginia.
What do you feel about Malik Thomas?
From Virginia. He can shoot the ball as well. He can score. I like Virginia's team in general. Shout out Ryan Oda, man. I like him. I like the bigs and Jonah Grunlow and the other big, the Nigerian that I can't remember his name right now because it's crazy. But he's a crazy shot blocker.
Even though this, like I said, this. Speaking of Virginia, this freshman class is deep. NCAA just in general. Chance Mallory.
My brother played against him too. Chance Mallory.
Really? I seen him play, and he's a nice spark off the bench. I think there'd be more. I think if this draft class wasn't so deep, this freshman class wasn't so deep, you hear more of his name. But I like him a lot.
I like Chance Mallory a lot too. Another name, Boopy Miller.
Boopy
Miller is nice. I've been watching him since Wake Forest. He was actually a big piece in them upsetting Duke when they had the what do I want to call it? I want to use gate, but I can't use it. But remember when Kyle Filipkowski allegedly got hit by a fan when he tried to hit the fan first? And Coach Shire came out and was like, "Oh, we need to stop this." They tried to hurt him. When Kyle Filipkowski literally tried to when Kyle literally tried to hit the fan. Right. So I will watch out for him. Tavari Johnson for Akron, definitely a name I would look out for. And I would say that is my list for like players to look out for. That's not the obvious ones. Oh, I'll say Killian Torrey too. I love Killian Torrey's tenacity, the way he plays defense for Iowa State. I would definitely look out for that name as well.
One more. Sorry, one more.
What?
Iowa State. You just reminded me. I'm trying to think of the name.
Joshua Jefferson.
No.
Milan Milosevic.
Hold on. Was the tall European?
Milan Milosevic. Yep.
Yes. He went on like a 12-0 run.
Wrong.
He went on like a 12-0 run in one of their conference games.
He's a problem
to end the half. I think it was against Arizona.
Yeah, he's a problem, bro. The only thing with him, he does have a tendency to take some dumb shots, but he's a problem.
Yes. But he had 28 against Iowa State, 8 of 14 from 3.
Yeah, he's a problem for sure. And he was
just
with
his
the program
size
for a little minute.
Yeah, just his size as well. So that's definitely one to watch. As far as when he get hot, it may be a long day for their opponent.
Yeah, and before we move on to the last region, I want to say shout out the committee for making Baltimore versus the DMV as a playing game, UMBC versus Howard. I'm definitely tuned in tomorrow for that.
Man,
I thought that was hilarious.
Sure,
I thought that was so hilarious.
I actually was sick about it. I was like, dang, 2 DMV teams, and you got them going head to head in the first 4.
I thought it was funny because of the timing. Because I don't know if you've been seeing it. Some people, the talk of Baltimore being a part of the DMV has come back up. So
the news station and all that, yeah.
So I thought that was hilarious.
Who you got in that game?
Right now I got UMBC. Can't lie.
It's funny. I got Howard.
Yeah, I can't lie. Right now I got
Howard. I think Howard has had a nice regime change.
They made the tournament 3 of the last 4 years. Shout out.
Yeah, when Kenny Blakeney, he's a product of Duke. I think he was at Duke's coaching staff. And just looking at the end of the season, they ended the season pretty. I mean, they in the MEAC, but they dominated the MEAC. They won their last 8 games, and then outside of the championship, where you're going against what's his name, Lavelle Moten from Central, who's a great coach.
Yeah.
They won every game by double digits.
Yeah.
I think I'm going with Howard for this one. I think UMBC had their time when they beat Virginia.
Definitely, that was the time.
Yeah. Hey, if we talking UMBC, they won their last couple by double digits too.
Won their last 12, done a 12-game win streak right now.
Yeah, man. So it's honestly more of a fan thing, but I'm going Howard on this one.
I'm going with DJ Armstrong and UMBC, man. DJ Armstrong went nuclear against Vermont in that championship game. So, and I feel like both of them guards can score, even Valentine. So I'm going with UMBC. So, but I think it's going to be a really good game. I think it's going to be a really good game. So,
for sure.
And I love it for both those colleges to try to attract players to make those schools consistently dominant in their respective conferences. So just definitely wanted to shout out the committee for that because I thought that was hilarious. And we're going to move to our last region, the West region, excuse me. And any potential upsets in the West region. I know you said you won already by mistake.
Yep, Missouri. So Missouri. I think Missouri is well experienced. They got 3 seniors in the starting lineup. They got a junior. That wasn't a real reason. That was a reason. I think it's for my other dark horse is why I said that. But Missouri, they got Dennis Gates. He's got NCAA experience. Cleveland State. Yep. We all remember that run. He had because they were not supposed to go as far as they did.
That's was that with Trey Gomillion in them?
I think so.
Yeah, I think that was Trey Gomillion in them.
Yeah. So in Missouri, I feel like they're due to being coached by Dennis Gates. I feel like they have a real hard, tough nose, kind of mentality. I think they've won some good games. I think they've lost some, questionable games. Not having too many bad losses outside of Notre Dame. Not too many bad losses. Very, they compete, but they beat Vandy this year. They beat Tennessee. They beat Auburn. They beat Kentucky. They beat Florida. So they've shown that they can. They can win some games against some tough opponents. So I think when all the chips are on the line, I think Miami can be susceptible to losing to Missouri. And although I love me some, what's his name, Malik Renaud. Yeah, I love him. I remember Indiana as a freshman. He's a problem. I just got Missouri for this one.
So I like the potential upset. I do. And I can definitely see Missouri winning, especially with the emergence of T.O. Barrett. The way T.O. Barrett's been playing these last, 8, 9, 10 games? He's like the second best player behind Mark Mitchell. What a rebrand Mark Mitchell had from leaving Duke to Mizzou. So I'm not mad at it. I just love me some Jay Lucas. I love the turnaround of Miami that he had. Jay Lucas is the coach. The new coach. Miami was the worst team in the ACC last year. Jay Lucas comes there with the third best team in the ACC this year. Trey Donaldson. I feel like Trey Donaldson has been so clutch this year. Transfer from Auburn and unfortunately Michigan.
Michigan, I remember Michigan.
Yeah, he won the Big Ten tournament championship with Michigan.
Yeah.
They both, but that year they got beat by 20 by Michigan State twice. But so there's that. Right. But I do like the nucleus of Miami, and Miami had some good wins as well. Beating North Carolina, that's when Caleb Wilson was there. I'm pretty sure they beat Virginia. Now they got spanked by Virginia in the tournament, but in the regular season, I'm pretty sure they beat Virginia. They beat NC State on the road, which NC State did lose like 6 of their last 7, but Miami was still on the road to make that happen. So Miami also can beat some pretty talented teams as well. And I think that Ernest Udo is going to be a problem for Missouri's bigs. I do like Sean Phillips, but Sean Phillips is I think he needs some bricks in his back pocket just a little bit. My potential upset.
Oh, I got one more. I have one more.
Probably going the same way I'm going. Go ahead.
No, I don't think so. I might get kicked off the show for this one.
Oh, yeah. I know where you're going now.
I'm going Hawaii.
That's not where I thought you was going.
I'm going Hawaii, potentially. Now, I think everybody has fell in love with A-Cuff. I think rightfully so. Everybody's fell in love with A-Cuff. Arkansas came out of the SEC, and A-Cuff dominated in the FCC tournament. I say it all the time. I think I told you before the show. He gives me hints of Derrick Rose, just the way he moves, the way he controls the game, his ability to drive. And I think Hawaii. I think everybody's fallen in love. And I think and I've experienced this. After you win a conference championship, you can kind of, and you're getting all the praise and all that. You can let your foot off the gas a little bit. Not saying you can, but it happens. Where you, especially your favorite, you go into the tournament you start looking past your opponents, for the next. You're feeling yourself. And Hawaii, about them, they have an 8-man lineup that they run. 6 out of their 8 are seniors, with the other 2 being juniors. I think that plays, that I like that a lot when it comes to my potential upsets. That experience. And they, in their championship game, they had 17 offensive rebounds.
They got them. Isaac Johnson, Dre Bullock, and them.
Yeah. Crashing the glass. In the game before that, they had 16 offensive rebounds. So they're crashing the glass. They're going for second chance points, and also because I feel like Arkansas, at least currently, I know they have plenty of players outside of A-Cuff, but as far as scoring the ball and assisting, he reminds me of Braden Smith, where too much is running through him at times.
I can see where you're going with that.
Too much is running through him. And if they somehow devise some type of game plan to limit his usage or just his impact when it comes to, or if you just want him to score 40, but he's limiting his assists, everybody involved, I could see them pulling out a close upset and just shocking everybody. It sounds crazy until it happens.
See, my thing with Hawaii, and people has fallen in love with the Rangers.
And Calipari, he's not he's a legend, but he has his faults. He ain't.
I know. Trust me.
Yeah,
I know. We remember Jack Boakey in Oakland.
Yeah, exactly. So Calipari is susceptible too. So you mix all those, it's far-fetched, but it's not that far-fetched. It's not impossible.
I feel you, right? And I was going to point to the Oakland upset against Kentucky. That was not long. It was 3-4 years ago. It was actually 3 years ago, because that led to him, in my opinion, getting fired.
That was Jack Boakey?
Yeah.
Wasn't that last year?
Nah.
It wasn't
last year. Calipari was at Arkansas last year. It was 2 years ago.
Okay, 2 years ago. Okay.
Yeah, because I think that led to him getting fired, to be honest.
Yeah.
That Goki run. But I watched Hawaii play Arizona State early in the year, and Arizona State has 2 really good guards in Pig Johnson and Mo Odom.
Yeah,
Pig Johnson. They didn't stop Pig Johnson from penetrating. And I don't think they're going to stop Darius Aiko from penetrating that lane.
I understand, but it's another thing about March. And not saying A-Cuff can't thrive in this, by questioning just the team dynamic in general. I see a lot more zone played in March when it comes to that. But
Hawaii, I think Hawaii game plan is straight man. They not getting
I agree. But hey, depending on we playing the freshman player of the year.
Now you can say he's
you never know.
One of the best players in college basketball.
No, you're right. You're right. You're right. Like I said, it's far fetched. But like I said, I don't like the fact that A Cup has to do so much for Arkansas at times. Although he's equipped to, that can lead to, like I said, vulnerability when it comes to, like, God forbid, A Cup get in foul trouble.
Oh, that'd be terrible,
right?
But I will say this: I think and I've been one to say that I have been very disappointed in what DJ Wagner has done so far in college. I will say of late, I have seen better of DJ Wagner. So I think DJ Wagner is capable, and very unfortunate if Darius A Cup gets in foul trouble. But I don't all the way disagree with you, only because I agree with the point that Calipari is susceptible to an upset in March. It has happened, especially of recent. And Hawaii is a team that is predicated on defense. And Arkansas, I've said this multiple times on my podcast, I tend to not pick teams that rely solely on starter production. They don't really have much from the bench beyond what DJ at times and Ewing. Or Nick Prinkle, excuse me. One of them, I can't remember which one of them to come off the bench, but they're really starter production heavy. So that can be like dastardly.
Foul trouble, right?
Yeah.
And like I said, Hawaii's an experienced team. You got 6 out of 8 seniors. 4 out of 5 of the starters are seniors. And this is their last game. This is their last game. So all cards are on the table. People do miraculous things. When they might not play a game again. So this is a little extra motivation for them, especially when you're going against this top freshman. I always tell people that I never want to doubt seniors, because let's just say we were in high school, right? You got this middle schooler who came in and he's supposed to be the goods, right? Even though A Cup is the goods, let's not get that twisted. Like, but you're those seniors play with a chip on their shoulder. When you think this freshman gonna kick me out,
he might be going league, but I'm about to get one up on him. I feel you.
Yeah. So, it's just a little extra motivation that Hawaii may have. And they may catch Arkansas in a more vulnerable spot where they've taken their foot off the gas due to winning this SEC championship and being the talk of the town.
I can't get with the taking their foot off the gas, because Calipari knows what that's like. And Calipari knows that if he does that, what can happen. So I'm pretty sure Calipari is instilling in these guys, job not done. This is just another step in the right direction towards. He's probably telling them they can win a natty. They're not winning a natty, but he's probably telling them that. So while I agree with your points, I'm not agreeing with this upset. I think Arkansas gets it done.
Now, fair enough.
My potential upset, where I thought you were going, is I'm not even going to say this potential. I got this as an upset. Utah State over Villanova. Villanova got an unlucky draw of Utah State. Villanova, I think that Matt Hodge's injury is bigger than what people think it is. He's not playing. He's out. So I think I think that's going to be very detrimental. Bryce Lindsey, to me, is very inconsistent. He's supposed to be their sniper, but at times he goes super cold.
And he went 0-4 in that law against Xavier. I'm looking at.
Yeah, he can go super cold. Caden Lewis, love the guy from the area.
Yeah.
He's really talented. Can he shoulder the load offensively? No, he cannot. Especially not against this Utah State defense.
And he thrives, honestly, when getting others involved. It seems like.
Exactly.
And then he finds his.
Exactly. Now, with that being said, they're going against Utah State, who has 2 15-plus per game scores, and MJ Collins, and the Mountain West Conference Player of the Year, Mason Falslev, which MJ Collins can get his own offense. Then they got a guy in Drake Allen who, while he isn't super productive scoring-wise, he leads the team in assists, and he's very productive. He's like a glue. He, to me, is like a glue guy for them. Carson Templin, who I believe was the 6th man of the year in the Mountain West Conference. If not, he was up there for one of them. But he scores 10 points a game off the bench. So he's big for Utah State. I think Utah State beats Villanova. Love Villanova. Shout out Kevin Willard for helping erase the Cal Neptune era of Villanova, because that was terrible. Maryland fans dislike it, and if I'm a Maryland fan, I can 100% agree why you don't like Kevin Willard. He literally orchestrated his way to Villanova while y'all were in the midst of the tournament, so I can see why you dislike him for sure. But I just think Utah State is too much for Villanova. And Villanova, I think their identity is more so defensively. And if Utah
Mm-hmm.
State can score, that puts them in a really bad spot.
All right. Can I give a counter to that?
Go ahead.
So I disagree with you. I like Villanova over Utah State. Not easily, but somehow Villanova in games, their wins, they just find they don't look great on paper, but they sounds like Kaden Lewis got to have a Darius Acuff type of game. I agree with you, but that's not his game. What's that, J-Mo 6 mil? That's not his game. I know him personally.
My boy J-Mo.
Yeah, but he can't get hot though. He can't put up 20, but like I said, I think he thrives best when putting up shots, but also getting others involved when he has like 11 plus assists a game type thing. But Villanova somehow finds a way to get it done at times. I can't explain it. I remember that first game against BYU. I was watching them like,
they should have been in that game. Yeah,
I was like, who is their like star? Who like? I couldn't find an identity. But I think part of it is they do real good defensively. So I feel like if they can lock in defensively against Utah State, I know Utah State is a great offensive team. But like I said, I can't explain it. Where they just find a way to stay in games. They find a way to pull it out sometimes. But I also will say that I think Utah State has some pretender in them.
I'm not saying that they making a run, because after this game they losing to Arizona. But what I'm saying
is this isn't their first time in the tournament. I remember I always see Utah State on my bracket, right? And I can only remember probably one time. They lost to UCLA last year. They might be a lower seed. They beat TCU the year before, but they just don't have a good history of getting out of the first round, no matter who they play.
I'm trying to remember who they had last year, UCLA and Utah State, because 2 years ago is when they had Danny Sprinkle and they had Great Elsaboy, and I want to say they made it out. They won their first game.
No, they won their first game against TCU, I think 2024.
Yeah, that was with Great Elsaboy.
But outside of that, they haven't been able to get out of the first round at all. So, yeah. What J-Mo 6 mil said, no, I'm hip. He's just a point guard. Just jazzing it because Carl. Oh, yeah. No, you're right.
Oh, I went to this year's team by accident. But, with Danny Sprinkle and Great Elsaboy, I remember. Oh, that was with Ian Martinez and Mason Falslev last year. I forgot about Ian Martinez. My Lord.
What did Jared Calhoun come? He came from Youngstown State. Okay, this Jared Calhoun, this new coach.
Did he come from Youngstown State? I can't remember.
I'm on KenPom right now. He from Youngstown State. So that 24, when they finally did get out the first round, that wasn't him.
Danny Sprinkle. It was Danny Sprinkle. Yeah. It was Danny Sprinkle.
So I'm not, like I said, I'm not counting. Like I said, Utah State's still a great program, but somehow Villanova, I feel like they just find a way to get it done sometimes, and I just can't explain it.
Here's my counter to your Utah State point.
Yeah.
Villanova, in the last 4 or 5 years, hasn't even made the tournament. Now, granted, that was the Cal Neptune era.
Yeah.
But still, they haven't made the tournament. So I wouldn't use the pass against Utah State.
It can go both ways.
I just think Utah State is a better constructed team, and especially with the injury to Hodge and the inconsistencies of Villanova scoring, I'm going to lean towards Utah State. Now, I can agree with your Missouri potential upset. I can agree with that. I can see either team winning that game, to be honest with you. So if I had to pick another one, it would be that. But beyond those two, I don't see another one. I know people are on Wisconsin and having High Point beat Wisconsin. I feel like that's just I want to be against the trend type pick. Yeah. I want to be so mid-major pick. I think Wisconsin. Oh, I'm gonna save that actually.
My one other potential upset. If they get past this, I could see NC State potentially going past BYU.
Can't do it. Can't do it.
Why not?
Because NC State has been playing terrible down the last stretch of basketball. I understand BYU is missing Richie Saunders. 100%.
I'm looking at this. They're like they won their last two
terrible.
Last 9.
AJ DeVan might slaughter them boys.
But it's like NC State's another one of the constructed teams. Like I like it. Like Will Wade, he has a great resume. Like I'm saying like history. Like as a coach,
he's turned his. I don't remember him doing super great at LSU, but McNeese.
Well, I was thinking more of McNeese.
Yeah, McNeese definitely a great showing.
They got what's his name? The kid from Michigan State.
Trey
Trey
Holloman.
Holloman.
Yeah,
Love Trey Holloman. Cartier Copeland.
That one hurt.
But it's just
Darian
like for some reason they can't finish games.
Darian Williams was a big.
I got you. Yeah, but they can't finish games. So I understand your cautiousness with that.
Can't do it.
But once again, BYU is a little injured with Richie Saunders, their shooter.
Out for the year.
And I question AJ in this type of environment.
I don't. I'm sorry. He dropped 40 in the Big 12 tournament. I don't question it. I think his game gonna rise.
No, I'm not saying that he can't get his, but it, you know.
Are you questioning the others?
I question their cohesiveness and their chemistry when it comes to that. Him, Rob, all having to gel and in a tough nose games. Keita gets in foul trouble, just like, you know, like they look great on paper. But yeah, I like I said, I always question freshmen when it comes to March Madness, for sure. I always question freshmen. Like you got to show me.
Peer with Dick Vitale. Hey, AJ DeBance is a PT peer and a diaper dandy.
Diaper dandy, right?
Yeah, they both. I'm AJ on this one.
Okay, fair enough. And just looking at BYU, I don't think they've had any outside of Iowa State. I haven't been really impressed with any of their wins in conference.
See, so that's what I will give you. When they got into the thick of their schedule, they did go on a slump.
they folded. They beat a Texas Tech team, but that's without JT Toppin.
Yeah. But I'll say this. NC State ain't show nothing either.
You're right. So we're on an even playing field.
I'm sorry. I'm tending to go with AJ DeBanza and Rob Wright breaking a slump and Darian Williams is no slouch. Darian Williams was a huge piece of Texas Tech last year, huge piece of NC State this year. But AJ DeBanza and Rob Wright, I'm going with over Cartier Copeland and Darian Williams. But I will say this: NC State is a really good three-point shooting team, and they can get hot from three with guys like Paul McNeil, Trey Holloman shooting the three ball. So even Darian Williams get the three ball. So that could play a factor. They're a three-point.
And if you ain't got Richie to counteract that,
yeah, that they are one of the best better three-point shooters teams in the country. But I just can't do it. I don't even know. They got, like you said, they got to get past Texas. I don't even know who I'm picking yet in that Texas NC State matchup. Because I've been a huge Jordan Pope fan from Oregon State to now. I like their newcomer of the year, Swain. He won SEC newcomer of the year.
Yeah, I like Swain.
I want to say Tremont Mark is still on that team, right?
Texas.
Yeah, Tremont Mark.
Yeah, I loved him on Houston.
Yeah,
I loved him. He's been a little Texas team has been a little under disappointing.
That's Sean Miller, right?
Yeah, Sean Miller. Where he came from, Xavier?
Yeah, and Arizona. So
yeah, they've lost 5 of their last 6 to end the season.
That's what's underperforming is Sean Miller.
Yeah, for sure. And they haven't beat anybody except Bama and Vandy.
Draw 2 good wins.
Yeah, but that was earlier. That was back early January. Students weren't even back yet.
And I'll say this. The Oklahoma loss isn't as bad as it seems. So Oklahoma, it was like one of the hottest teams at the time to end the year. I think they ended the year on like a 7-8 game win streak. Yeah,
they got hot for sure.
They got super hot, and they were so close to playing themselves in the tournament. If they could have somehow, I think they played. It wasn't TCU because they beat Texas A&M. I can't remember who they lost.
Arkansas.
It
was Arkansas.
Yeah, and they played them. Then they
lost by 3.
Yeah, they played them close. If they could have somehow found a way to beat Arkansas, they would have found a way themselves in the tournament.
No, facts.
So even Ole Miss down the line was super high. Ole Miss played Arkansas down to 2-3 points. So
facts. That's what I'm saying. When your life's on the line, people be mustering up some type of. The crazy thing is, Mississippi before the SEC tournament, they only won 1 game since January 20th.
Yeah, they got high in tournament.
So and that's why I can't count people out who. Yeah. All the time. It don't work for everybody.
Yeah, Ole Miss did kind of play some close ones that they lost. I remember one game they was playing close. Was it Tennessee, I think? And then it just went all downhill after Porter Moser just got like ejected, and it was like multiple attacks. And they started shooting endless free throws. It went downhill from there.
Yeah, Tennessee. Matter of fact, Tennessee had 34 free throws that game.
Yeah, that game 21. Was crazy. But the SEC definitely got crunchy at the end. And they played each other early in the year. I think Texas actually won that game against NC State early in the year.
Let me see. Let me check. I'm on Kim Palm right now.
Yeah, it was a close game. I think
yeah,
Texas
they beat NC State by 5.
Yep.
Right.
So,
and I actually like those spots.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at the split right now. So yeah, I like those spots. Because I look at it as a potential revenge game.
That's exactly what I was about to say. So that's kind of point to me for NC State. It's a battle
and Texas, they had a anomaly of a game in my opinion. When they beat NC State. They shot 16 to 32 from 3.
Yeah, that is crazy.
28-33 for free throws. So they couldn't miss that game.
Yeah, that is crazy, but that is also against a team that shoots a lot of threes in NC State. So
you're right.
They had to check those possibly.
Oh yeah, I'm saying that's not the usual Texas.
Yeah, you don't want to rely on that. I get what you're saying. Mm-hmm. Definitely don't want to rely on shooting 50% from 3 because you won't get cooked. Yeah, but we'll move on to dark horses. Any dark horse in this last region? I know I got mine. Mine was already loaded from the start.
Dark horse. Let me see.
We might actually.
I'm looking at how the bracket's set up, so I gotta make sure. I could see Wisconsin.
That's mine. That's one of them.
I can see Wisconsin. I can see Wisconsin. I can also see BYU.
That's not my other one.
I can see BYU as a dark horse.
BYU unfortunately has Gonzaga next round if they win the winner of Texas and NC State.
Let me see. Because it's funny. I know Gonzaga's team. I haven't heard a lot from them this year.
So I'll say this: Gonzaga had a major injury with Braden Huff, who's been hurt for the last 2 months, right? So Gonzaga did drop a game against the University of Portland. I cannot talk to you about the Gonzaga without bringing that up. They did drop a game in Portland. God. It was bad. It was definitely bad, but they still won the WCC tournament championship. Yeah. Their last one, by the way, because they're going to the Pac-12 next year, and basketball only.
Pac-12?
Yeah, Pac-12 is back next year.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
Yeah, they're going to the Pac-12 in basketball. Boise State's going.
Okay.
San Diego State's going.
Is UCLA going?
No, they are not. Those teams are standing in the Big Ten. Yeah, Mick Cronin is upset. Very upset. But the Portland Pilot game was without Braden Huff. If Braden Huff comes back, I think Gonzaga gets back to their dominating ways. Graham Ike had a lot to shoulder in the front court with no Braden Huff.
For sure.
Those two guys being back.
He can be undersized at times.
Yeah, exactly. I'm actually still surprised he learned how to shoot a 3. I never would have thought that watching him at Wyoming. But
no, facts.
If Braden Huff is back, I think Gonzaga is dangerous. And this is coming from a guy who typically does not like Gonzaga because I hate that they play in the WCC and they get so overrated because they play in the WCC. And that's why when they played Baylor in the national championship, they got smacked because they weren't ready for that type of physicality. But I think they're good enough to beat BYU with no Richie Saunders.
Gotcha. But my main one is Wisconsin. Wisconsin.
Mine is too.
They've been clicking. I think they haven't been talked about enough. And they can get hot as well. So I like Wisconsin as my potential dark horse.
Mine is Wisconsin. Wisconsin is a team that can lose in the second round to Arkansas. Yeah. Boy, if Arkansas Wisconsin meet Nick Boyd and John Blackwell versus Darius Acuff will be amazing.
Yeah.
But they're a team that can lose that game, and they're a team that can go to the Final Four. We've seen Wisconsin beat Michigan. We've seen Wisconsin blow out Michigan State. We've seen Wisconsin beat Purdue. We've seen Wisconsin beat Illinois twice down double digits. They were down 15 in the Big Ten Tournament Championship, beat Illinois in overtime. We're down 11 with like 3-4 minutes left in the Illinois, beat Illinois in overtime. So we've seen Wisconsin beat the top of the Big Ten that has to offer. We have seen them get blown out by BYU, but that was early in the year. That was with Richie Saunders. AJ DeBanster did go crazy in that game. But I can see Wisconsin beating Arizona in the West like they have done in years past. I've told myself over and over this year, I will not fall for Arizona. I'm sorry. I've been scarred way too many times as a guy who had liked Sean Miller and Arizona in my collegiate days. I remember when they had Ronnie Hollis Jefferson, Nick Johnson, TJ McConnell,
I remember Nick
Aaron
Johnson.
Gordon. They had Brandon Ashley.
I will say on record, I can't remember, was it 2021? I had called, was it Oral Roberts with DeAndre Ayton?
Oh, no, that was Buffalo.
Buffalo. Okay,
That was
I called
before he went to Bama.
Okay, I called that Buffalo upset on
Hey, shout out to you because I did not.
on Arizona, and that was
out to
because, like I said, Marcus a guards game, and they depended too much on Ayton.
Yeah.
I was like, and that was back when upsets happened more frequently. I was like, yeah, this is going to be one. I actually called that one. So yeah, Arizona has definitely had some disappointing times.
Shout out
in
to
the
you for
past.
that one, 100%, because I did not see that one coming.
Now, my
and I
bracket
love
still
NATO.
got busted, but
I love NATO's to death, but I ain't see that one coming. And that's what
Yeah.
put NATO's on the radar for your boy. But yeah, man, that I named all those players for the Arizona team. They lost to Wisconsin. They lost to Frank Kaminsky and Nigel Hayes and Sam Decker. Yup, Sam Decker and Bronson Koenig.
Yeah.
They lost to that Wisconsin team, man. So I've seen.
And it's
Wisconsin
funny, you know, it's always that stat that you know, apparently since like 2001, there's hasn't been a NCAA champion like past a certain point on the line on the map.
Oh,
like it's like past
like
Texas or something. Like everything's been on like Midwest or East Coast.
Yeah, I mean that has been
NCAA champion.
Big Ten hasn't won a championship since Michigan State in 2000. And I know people gonna say Maryland won in 2002. They was a part of the ACC. They were not in the Big Ten, so that does not count. But yeah,
Arizona just. Well, I like this Arizona team. I like
too, but I'm scarred. I'm scarred and I'm scoring. I love Braden Berries. I love Jaden Bradley. I love Koa Pete. I love Montiunas Krivas. I love Toby O'Waka has elevated his game. I never thought I'd see Toby O'Waka shooting jump shots.
Right.
But I just can't do it. I can't do it. So I can see Wisconsin beating every team in this bracket. Now my second one is Miami. Miami is a team to me that can make a Elite Eight run. Miami could, I think, beat Purdue. I've seen Purdue lose some games they should not have lost. Speaking of UCLA, they lost at UCLA to Purdue. I mean, to UCLA at UCLA.
Yeah.
I've seen Purdue lose to us.
Well, part of Purdue's problem is it's worse than Arkansas. They rely too much on Braden Smith. You know, exactly. Braden Smith is a hell of a player. He's been a hell of a player, and it's funny because I hate his running mate, Fletcher Lawyer.
You hate Fletcher Lawyer? I hate Trey Kaufman-Renn. I think he's so overrated.
I think Fletcher Lawyer is overrated. I think
look
he's
at him as a 3-point shooter.
Yes,
nothing more, nothing less.
But he's Fletcher Lawyer just seems soft. I don't know, just like scared to dribbles at times. Like you press, like you get one of those hard nose, and that's the problem. So Braden Smith has to do all the ball handling, all the creating, you know. So I don't like Fletcher Lawyer. He's my running mate for March. Nah. And I think that team is easier to game plan when, like I said, just stop Braden. Not just stop him, but he's orchestrating everything.
He definitely is. And I don't want to say hate because hate is a strong word, but
you're right.
I think Trey Kaufman-Renn is overrated. And I talked about Braden Smith on my show last year. I talked about him a lot. I like Braden Smith, but I think the public overrates Braden Smith as well. I've been hearing so much. Now, this was prior to today's A Cup going off, but to start the year, Braden Smith is the best point guard in the country. I'm like, no, he's not. He's definitely one of, but he's not the best. I mean, I'm sorry. I like guys like my guy, Jeremy Fears. Again, he has on the court issues. He needs to get settled. He needs to stop people. Hey, leave the Draymond highlight tape alone.
The Grayson Allen tape.
Yeah, man, dogs. Leave that alone. But I like guys like Jeremy Fears, Aiden Holloway, LeBaron Philon. So, like, there was guys I felt were better. But, I mean, not to say he's not one of the best point guards, because I can't take that away from him. I love him. I think he's the dog, too. I think Braden Smith being a dog, like, the dog part of his game is kind of underrated. Yeah, I always said that Braden Smith is what people thought Aaron Craft was. In my opinion, I dislike Aaron Craft. Man, I remember I watched the game and somebody blamed the ball for why Aaron Craft lost the ball out of bounds. I think it was Dan Dockage.
Oh my god!
I couldn't believe it. He really blamed the ball.
But I like me some Braden Smith, man. He, like I say, he got that dog in him. I think he's an excellent passer. I think he makes big shots as well. Yeah. And like I said, he impresses me with like his usage because he plays like 39, 40 minutes a game. Yeah. And for him to be that condition and still like have the efficiency that he has at times is impressive.
Yeah, same with like A-Cup. A-Cup be playing like 30, 40,
yeah.
40
Oh yeah,
minutes
for sure.
game.
So A-Cup's even more impressive because he's a freshman doing that.
Yeah.
But also, like I said, this is Braden's last run for sure. And the Purdue, I like that Purdue team sometimes because they are, a lot of them still was on that team that got upset by Farley Dickinson.
They were.
You know, Matt Painter, they're not going to ever forgive that.
I was so happy they didn't win the Natty next year. I knew it.
I knew it's funny. I knew they were going to the Natty though.
I can't remember if I had them in my Natty or not. I can't remember. I had UConn winning it that year, but I can't remember if I had.
So it's funny. Funny fun fact: before I won my national championship, the junior year, I was a product of first round upset as a 1 seed. As a 1 seed.
Ooh, I'm gonna ask you about that at the end of the show because I gotta know how that sucks. I know that had to suck because Michigan State got upset by Middle Tennessee, and the whole athletic training room was dead when that happened. So I know playing in that had to suck.
Talk about air out of taking the air out of the room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I know that had to suck. But yeah, my two potential dark horses are 7 seed Miami. If they can get past Mizzou, I feel like they can get past Purdue. Now the biggest test for me would be Gonzaga because of their size. But I feel like Miami can match that with Ernest Udoh and Malik Vanal. And Wisconsin. Like I said, I can see Wisconsin beating any one of these teams on their side of the bracket. So any players to watch?
For sure. One of my favorite players since I've been, but I've been following him for years. Tyon Grant Foster.
Oh my, thank you. I've been following Grand Canyon too. Him and Ray Harrison at Grand Canyon was legendary.
Tyon Grant Foster. Finally, I mean, I know he's old. He's been, he's old.
Had that condition though. That don't count.
Yeah, no, you're right. But I mean, that just works in his favor now. And he's finally on the platform that I was like, I felt like he deserved. As far as a bigger conference where he didn't have to win his conference outright just to get on the stage. I love me some Tyon Grant Foster. He's coming off the bench for Gonzaga, and I think that is a scary sight for teams when you got that type of production coming off the bench. I think in their championship against Santa Clara, he had 20 off the bench. I'm looking at it now. He went 7 of 11 from the field.
Yeah, he's physical. I love the way he plays the game. He has a motor, and you can tell like he plays the game like he had the game. Felt like the game was about to be taken away from him. So I love the way he plays the game.
So Tyon Grant Foster is my player to watch, and also from Villanova, Lindsay,
Bryce Lindsay.
Yeah, Lindsay. I think
Lindsay. One of them two.
Let me see.
Confused his name with. I think it's Bryce Lindsay. Yeah.
Oh no, sorry, not Bryce Lindsay. Tyler Perkins.
Okay, the shooter. Another shooter.
Yes, the shooter. Yes, I think. I think I've seen some big time shots from him, and I think Villanova, if they're going to have any type of success or any type of chance, he's going to have to show up and show out for sure. So those are my two players to watch when it comes to this region.
So I got a couple too. I'm not mad at yours. I love yours. And like I said, man, I love me some Tyon Grant Foster. I actually called them upsetting St. Mary's that year. They upset St. Mary's in the first round of tournament. So I was happy to see that. Happy to see them win the I think they were in the WAC at the time because they left their conference and went to the Mountain West. So Grand Canyon is currently in the Mountain West right now. So
gotcha.
But my players to watch beyond the obvious, like Braden Burries and guys like that.
Yeah.
Dre Bullock for Hawaii. I think he's a solid player for Hawaii. I think he can give buckets at a premium for the Hawaii Rainbow Warriors. I think he can attack the basket. So I like Dre Bullock. I like Jordan Pope in the play-in round for Texas. He's a bucket. Always been a bucket since Oregon State. I'm glad he went to Texas and he can put that more so on display. I like Trey Donaldson for the Hurricanes. Again,
I like Trey Donaldson.
Clutch. I think he's a clutch player for them. He hit big-time buckets, can hit the three, can get to the basket, and he actually facilitates a ton of what Miami does. So I think he's a player to watch also. LIU. I like Greg Gordon for LIU. He's a bigger guard getting to the basket. Funny enough, I know Greg Gordon because speaking of the YouTube scene, you know Scars from the YouTube scene, right?
Yeah.
He played JUCO ball with Scar at Dyersburg State. So when I follow Scar, on his channel at Dyersburg State,
Yeah.
he popped out to me. So to see him go D1 at LIU, I was like, oh, I know that name. So I went back. I'm like, yeah, that's him. So I think he's a player.
So he popped out in like a 2-on-2 with him or something?
No, they went to JUCO together. So Scar was documenting his 1 year at Dyersburg State.
Oh, gotcha.
And he was there that season. He was like the team leader and everything like that. So he went on to play D1 ball. He went somewhere else before LIU and then ended up at LIU with Malachi. They both went for like 24 against against Mercyhurst in the NEC championship game. It was Malachi. I can't remember. I want to say Malachi Davis, but I'm thinking of Malachi Smith from UConn. That's
Malachi Davis. Malachi Davis.
They both went for 24.
Yeah,
they both went crazy against Mercyhurst. Speaking of, I'm gonna save it to the end, but I got some stuff to say about both Mercyhurst and Bellarmine. But those are my players to watch for the region, and that concludes the bracket talk for the region. So I want to thank my guest Tyler again for showing up and coming on the show. I knew we was gonna be in here for a while. I knew we was gonna talk good basketball. Like I said, I knew him since like 08.
Yeah.
And I knew he knows what he's talking about when it comes to collegiate basketball. So any final first of all, I do need you to talk about that loss, only because I just want to know how it felt. Like I said,
fair enough. So I'm gonna start. So to be honest, I won the national championship my senior year, but on
you can talk about that too. We gotta talk about the bad. We're gonna talk about the good.
So but junior year, that team was on paper, like individual, we were much better than the national championship team. Okay. Like 4 out of the 5 starters from the national championship team came off the bench on that junior year team. Right?
Yeah. I see the picture.
Yeah. So actually my teammate who hit the game winning shot the senior year, he was D2 National Player of the Year. He is also the second all-time leading scorer in my school's history. And
shout out to him.
He actually just texted our group chat right now. But he didn't start starting until halfway through the halfway through junior year. Mm-hmm. So he's coming off the bench, leading us in scoring. So that's why I say
that's tough. That's like D.O. Johnson at Charleston State. That's tough.
Yeah, and so I say that Tyron Grant Foster, that's a scary sight to see off the bench. But so I'm gonna try to summarize this. But that junior year, we started off 18-0. I remember like I said, I was coming off the bench probably like 8th man. I ended up working my way into the lineup. I had to get a role. Defense, knocking out threes, but it was defense where I got my role, where I was able to actually get a good amount of minutes because we were just nice around the board. Like, for example, my first game down there, just to show you how nice we was, my first game down there was against Florida, that Final Four Florida team.
Scotty Wilbekin in them.
Yes, Scotty Wilbekin, Patrick Young.
I had an exhibition game against them.
My first game there. We were down there.
That's when Chris Walker came in as a freshman?
Yeah. Casey Hill was a freshman. Patrick Young. That team went to the Final Four.
Dorian Finney-Smith was on that team, right?
He might have been.
And
Billy Donovan was the coach.
Oh my Lord.
UConn cannot lose the firmament. Danny Hurley's not going to let that happen.
Yeah, I was going to let you finish before I answer that question. The answer is no. And he asked what you play for.
Florida Southern College. So they're a Division II school. They're in the same conference as like Barry University, University of Tampa, Nova Southeastern, who's running the conference right now. But so we were down to Florida by 4 at halftime.
That's crazy in itself. Because we didn't name all them names. And like you said, Florida made the Final Four, and my boy Demo give me crap all the time because I thought Scotty Wilbekin was going to be a good player in the league. But that was the early stages of me and my analysis. My teammate, the one who National Player of the Year senior year, he had 18 on that Florida team. Dang.
Hold on. Hold on. In the first half.
Yeah, that's crazy because they played defense.
In the first half, he had 18 on first.
That's
first
crazy.
Half.
That's crazy.
So I don't know what Billy Donovan said to them at halftime.
I'm surprised the man ain't get recruited.
But that was when you had to sit out a year to transfer up.
Man, I don't care.
No, he should have been playing SEC for sure. So we ended up losing that game 110-88. 22 loss as a D2 school to a Final Four. That's not bad at all. When you see at the beginning of the season, teams getting beat by 40, 50. Yeah. And we scored. D1. Yeah. We scored. We just couldn't stop them from scoring. So, foul trouble. Patrick Young comes in, offensive rebounds. Then the next day, we ride in the sleeper bus and we play Tennessee.
That's hold on. Is that with Jordan McRae and Jarnell Stokes in them?
Yes.
I love that team.
I got a picture of me guarding Jordan McRae.
I love that. Jordan McRae was such a bucket. Bro.
Yes, he was SEC. He's preseason SEC Player of the Year, and we were down to them by 4 at halftime.
I was super big on Tennessee. I was super big on Caruso at Texas A&M. Fun fact, I told everybody Caruso was going to be like that in the league. I remember I hit the group chat like, oh, my boy Caruso getting some burn. And the Laker fan told me verbatim, he sound like he is trash. I said, I bet, watch.
So this is the very next day. Like, we rode in a sleeper bus to Tennessee and played them the very next day.
That is actually crazy of a drive, too.
And it was down to them by 4 at halftime.
When you factor in the drive, playing the game the day before, and it's not like you getting good rest. Like, you on a bus getting the rest before the game, and you play the top physical team in Florida.
Yeah. And we were down to Tennessee at 4 at halftime, and this is 3. And I think Josh was still on
I was about to say might have been there, but it depends on the year because Josh.
No, I think he came the next year.
Yeah, I was about to say Josh came next year.
But Jarnell
and not Amani Moore. Amani something. I can't remember his last name.
But Jarnell and Jordan ended up getting drafted, going to the league.
For sure.
But
I think McRae went to the Sixers, right? And Jarnell went to the Grizzlies.
Jarnell went to the Grizzlies. He went to the Sixers. I think McRae ended up on the Cavs too for a little bit.
Yeah.
But we ended up losing by like 24, 26. But so I learned to let you know how nice we were as a Division II team.
Yeah.
Right. And so we started the season 18-0.
Yeah.
Right. We were running through D2. And during conference time, our second leading scorer, who's not just our second leading scorer, he's our leader. Like he does everything. He rebounds, assists. He goes down with a Jones fracture.
Ooh, that's out for the year.
Yes, his senior season Jones fracture, and we end up. And what happens is, and this is why I kind of feel the Alabama situation. Second leading scorer, just like Aiden Holloway is, except they played without him earlier in the year, which you had a good point. But now our coach inserts our leading scorer, where he's used to coming off the bench.
Yeah,
right. That's the only reason he got inserted into the lineup. Because
it's like Curtis Jones for Iowa State.
Yeah, and so
when he had to start, he didn't look the greatest coming off the bench from starting.
And so it wasn't that my teammate didn't look the greatest, but we cohesively did not look the greatest because guys are used to he was coming in with us, the second unit. He could do whatever he want. Now he's with the first unit, and there's the guys who usually getting shots or who's not getting it. Like the cohesiveness, the chemistry ain't the same. So we ended up actually losing that next game. It sucked because at that time we were 18-0. We were number 2 in the nation. We was trying to get that number 1 spot, and the team who was number 1 ended up losing the same night we did. So
go figure, right?
Yeah. So we ended up 26-5, still winning the conference championship though, and we got a number 1 seed in the tournament. And so we ended up matching up with Tuskegee. All right, Tuskegee. Cool. Tuskegee. We played them back in December, like a Christmas type game where they came down, and we beat Tuskegee by 20. Right. And here's the problem with March Madness, and this is why I mentioned the whole you can look past somebody. Because we saw Tuskegee, we remember them, man, we got this. We worry about the second round. Tuskegee was also one of them teams that they were only in the tournament because they won their conference.
Oh, okay.
But they got hot at the right time.
Kind of like Georgetown when they lost to Colorado.
Yeah, they got hot at the right time. But like I said, we beat them earlier. And so we're looking past them. But another advantage to Tuskegee, they already, like, for example, if we play Florida again, Florida probably beat our ass because they now know what to expect.
But I got
you. Sorry, my bad.
You good?
My bad. First time. Sorry.
Got you.
But Tuskegee knew what to expect now. They knew what they were going up against. They knew what didn't work the first time. So they go back to the drawing board and they came out. And so what happened was they already hot. They came out with confidence. They're down 1 at halftime. So they go into the locker room with confidence.
Yeah, we in this game.
And we're at home. We're at home.
Oh, no neutral sites. No neutral sites.
So D2 doesn't go to a neutral site till you get to Elite 8.
Okay. Kind of that's like the NIT, I think.
Yeah, so you play at whoever's number 1 in the region. You go to there, you travel to there. So they ended up beating us by 3. It was like And our problem on the offense, it was like a high-scoring game. We couldn't stop him from scoring. And let me ask you this: my leading scorer. I always ask people this because he's our leading scorer. He's part of the reason. I'll tell him to his face. I tell him to his face all day. He's part of the reason we lost that game. But no, he's not. Our coach is. But can you blame him for this loss? Right? He went 9. We lost by 3. He went 9 of 17 from the line, and he's like an 80% free throw shooter.
I would be if I was him, I would be down on myself for the loss.
For sure.
I'm missing 8 free throws, shooting daggone at 50% when I'm an 80% free throw shooter.
Hold on. But there's a caveat.
Okay.
That loss, he had 47.
It's still 8 points out there on the floor.
You're right, but 47 in college.
And that's true, but even if I go, let's just say, even if I go 14 to 17, that's still 5 extra points I got from free throws.
No, you're right. And so
but I'm not going to solely put the loss on him.
No, I don't. I put it on us as a team and also my coach, because our coach, I feel like, he prioritized offense over defense that game. Mm-hmm. Like, as we're in this battle with Tuskegee, you're trying to just outscore them.
Yeah.
Like, Tuskegee shouldn't score 90 points on us. They shouldn't score 90. It was like
a basketball game. A college basketball game is crazy anyway.
Yeah. It was like 93-90 we lost. They shouldn't score 93 points on us. So obviously we ain't have a problem scoring, no matter who was scoring. But the thing is, because my leading scorer was doing so much offensively, not that he had to, but other players weren't getting the ball, so they felt iced out. So he was scoring, but that takes out of you. So he's taking plays off defense. Mm-hmm. So there was a couple defensive plays that we need to stop that he took off.
Defensive lapses, I got you.
Yes, he's fatigued. And what's fatigue do at the free throw line?
Makes you miss, yeah.
Yeah. So anyways, after that, I kind of remember. I don't, but it sucked losing in front of home, losing. Everybody's talking about, oh, when y'all go to the whatever, everybody got these high hopes for you, and then you got to come back to class and all. It's embarrassing.
Yeah,
embarrassing. But our coach, we used it as fuel for the next season.
It's kind of like UMBC and Virginia.
No, I chose Virginia to win the tournament for that specific reason the next year. I said, next year. I knew they were going to win it. I chose Purdue. But the thing is, I didn't choose Purdue to win it, but I chose them in it. The reason I didn't choose them to win it because they relied too much on Zach Edey.
No. I brought up the Virginia UMBC.
Oh yeah, no, I'm saying I chose Virginia that year.
Oh, okay, got you.
To win it. Because I had been in that same predicament, and I said, Virginia got a chip on their shoulder this year. They were the laughing stocks of NCAA because it had never happened before, and you're the team it happened to. I look at who they had back. Yeah, they're going to win it this year.
Then they brought in DeAndre Hunter and Kyle Guy.
And even with Purdue, when they lost second in history, they might have been bigger laughing stocks. Virginia was laughing stocks because they got their butt beat. They lost by 20. It wasn't even close.
Yeah, it wasn't close. And they're the first ones that happened, too.
Yeah. Purdue was a laughing stock, not because of that. And also, you have a 7-foot Zach Edey.
I'm about to say they had complete size over Purdue. Like, Zach Edey was unstoppable because I don't even remember if FDU had anybody over 6'8".
And so, I'm not surprised, though, because that's when Fletcher Lower and Braden Smith were like freshmen. Like, they were young.
Still, you got Zach Edey.
No, but what I'm saying is, I agree.
But
I agree. It's not an excuse at all, but it's why it doesn't look as surprising as the Virginia one. Like, now that I saw Virginia, I saw Purdue do it. I was like, all right, this makes a little more sense. But I had Purdue going to the national championship and losing to UConn, so I picked that. And the only reason I did have Purdue actually winning, like I had Virginia winning, is because they were too.
That's why I had it.
Yeah, and like I said, you rely too much on Zach Edey, and March is a guards game. Yeah, in my opinion.
I mean, Zach Edey had 30-something in that game. I don't even remember that game being close at one point. But UConn was stacked. They had Stephon Castle. They had and he didn't even win conference player of the year. I mean, he didn't win.
That was Stephen.
Castle was the next year. Castle was the next year.
That was Jordan Hawkins and them.
Jordan Hawkins.
Oh, matter of fact, Klingon was coming off the bench because they had Sanogo.
No, I think they was playing. Wasn't they playing Klingon and Sanogo together?
No.
Oh, they had Klingon. Okay, cool.
When Sanogo
I remember the guard who actually won it. He transferred from East Carolina. He actually won outstanding player of the year. Tristan Newton. He won outstanding player of the year in that Final Four.
They had Tristan Newton, Jordan Hawkins. Oh,
Yeah,
they had Andre
Andre
Jackson,
Jackson. Yep,
and
but
then
he came to
Caravan
Truist
was the
for nothing.
4. Caravan was the 4.
Caravan, dang, Caravan was there.
He was the 4. Caravan
Yep.
got 2 rings, right?
Yeah, Caravan got the most wins as a player in UConn history.
Yeah. So it's funny. My favorite person on that team was Andre Jackson.
Mine was Jordan Hawkins and Tristan Newton.
So I like Tristan Newton too, but Andre Jackson felt like did all the little things. He was the
did.
springy guy. He was the. I know he's going to shoot, but offensive putbacks, rebounds, defense, like, yeah,
he definitely was an athletic guy. Yeah.
Yeah, he just fit that role with the piece they needed, and they had enough shooting. Yeah, facts. But yeah, like I said, I know how it is to be a first round upset, and it just fuels you, man. And so it's funny when looking at brackets each year, I try to see. It didn't happen this year because there wasn't many upsets last year, but I always see like, is there an upset that happened last year and that team's in this year? If so, I know they're not going to be a first round. Yeah, they're trying to make a run for sure. So that's just something I keep in.
We'll talk about winning the national championship. Yeah, just bring up a bad memory, bring up a good one.
Yeah. Well, I will say that it's funny. People always say that at my school that we should have had 2 rings, right?
Yeah.
But I can't always say that. I don't know if we would have won it my senior year had we won it my junior year.
Respect.
Yeah, I can't guarantee that because I know exactly. I know the feeling, right? That entitlement. So I will say that chip on the shoulder when we went to the tournament, and I will say that next year, my senior year, we played Tuskegee in the regular season, and we beat them by 40. That chip on your they didn't make it to the tournament the year, so we played in the regular season. We beat them by 40. So that chip on your shoulder does matter. Yeah. And so the one game we lost was against Barry University. They were in our conference opponent. They was number 3 in the nation at the time, while we were number 1. And we lost to them the first game after Christmas break at our home, but no fans were in the stands.
Oh,
so
kids weren't back yet?
No, kids weren't back yet. Yeah. First game after Christmas break. I think we lost to them by 3-2, but they were a good team. They caught us slipping. But we ended up beating them at their place, and we beat them in the conference championship too. But I always say we needed that loss as well. I'd rather have that loss come at that time than in the tournament. So once the tournament hit, we had to staying one game at a time.
Yeah,
not looking past nobody. Not looking past nobody. We ended up playing Benedict, had a great run. Ended up playing West Georgia, who's D1 now, I believe.
Yeah, they. I forgot what conference they're. I think they're in the Ace Sun, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, but we played West Georgia. They had these 2-guard lineup. They gave us a run for our money, but we beat them. And then we played our Sweet 16 game against a conference opponent, Lynn University. They're in Boca Raton, and we beat them. We beat them 4 times.
Dang, that's tough.
That was listen. I was tired of playing Lynn. But we played them twice in the regular season. We beat them once in the conference tournament, and then to go to Elite 8, we had to play them. And they had a squad too, and they gave us a run for our money. We were just deep. We went 10 deep. We went 10 deep. And so once we got to Elite 8, we played Southern New Hampshire. They were nothing, and then we faced up with Bellarmine. I told you about the history we had with Bellarmine.
I got something to say about that when you're done.
Yeah, so we played Bellarmine December 12th, I remember because my coach's birthday at their place in front of they were on break, but they still had 2,000 fans.
Dang.
And I ain't gonna lie, it was in Kentucky. And that was the year. So, but you know how like we played Florida and stuff? Mm-hmm. They used to play Louisville, and they gave like Russ Smith and Peyton Siva a run for their money.
Ooh, that was Russ Smith, Peyton Siva, Luke Hancock.
Yeah. So Bellarmine was
what's his name? Gorgie Jang?
Yeah,
that's not what I'm thinking about though. But I think he was there. Montrezl Harrell. That's the name. I think he might have been there too.
That's Kevin Ware, right?
Kevin Ware.
So this Bellarmine team, even though it was D2, I think they were better than Bellarmine of now. Mm-hmm. So our coach, he said after we beat them in front of their fans, it felt real racist in there too. It felt racist as heck. It's Kentucky,
Midwest,
right? And I think at the time we were number 3, they were number 2. So we beat them in OT. Right, I actually had a great game that game, but our coach told us after that first game we're going to see them later on down the road, and he wasn't lying. So my dad always says this, that Bellarmine game with us is NCAA D2 changes how they seed you now, because I feel like they lost a lot of ratings with that game. because so right now, at literally the year after we won the championship, when you get to the Elite Eight, they reseed you.
That's kind of crazy.
Yeah, but it's because of our game, right? It's
That's even crazier. Like, why you okay?
So they reseed. I know why they did it. So they literally did it the year after I graduated, after we won it. So Bellarmine, we saw them, right. We come out hot. I'm talking. I had a teammate off the bench. He hits 5 threes in the first half. Off the bench, we're up 20 on Bellarmine at one point in the first half. Somehow we're up 4 at halftime.
Sounds like college basketball, man. I can't
We're
even
up
lie.
4 at halftime, up 20. That's the same half. They depleted that 20-point lead. So back and forth, second half. We had a 5-point play at one point. Yeah.
No text?
No text. So that same
and 1-3 and then like a layup, missed free throw layup or something like that?
No, our actual 5-point play where my same teammate who off the bench hit 5 threes. He caught the ball off of either a down or a flare screen.
Okay.
My teammate, he was actually a walk-on on Butler. He was on that he was a walk-on on Butler. Brad Stevens. And that national championship team.
What was that? Adam Morrison.
No.
Adam Morrison was a little bit.
Gordon Hayward.
It had to be Gordon Hayward. Yeah, Gordon Hayward.
Yeah, Gordon Hayward and what's his name? Kellen.
You talking about the big man? I can't remember his name, bro.
Anyways, he was a small guy, but he came to us for a scholarship. So he set a screen on my teammate to get open. As he's in motion, a Bellarmine player runs through the screen.
So that's an and one.
But he runs through the screen, but the shooter didn't get fouled. It was the screener.
Yeah, the screener, yeah. That's the
because we're in the bonus, and he did it while we were in the shooting motion.
So 1-1.
Yeah. So the bucket counts, and he gets a 1-1.
Got you.
5-point play. So long story. So back and forth. We call timeout. It's tied up. Coach says I want to win it with my seniors. Starting 5. Whole starting 5 with seniors too. So that makes sense. We give it to our national player of the year. I get the ball. Well, I get the ball, act like we're running the play. It's really just to give him the ball and get out the way.
Yeah.
Type of play. Mind you, on our team, I shot 38% from 3 that year. I was probably 4th on my team in 3-point percentage.
Oh yeah, that's kind of
38.
Crazy. Yeah, y'all dangerous from 3.
Yes. My coach, he was a shooter for Purdue back in the day with Glenn Robinson.
Shout out to him.
So I've never got so many shots in my life till I went down there.
Yeah, that's good. That's a good bump for sure. Because he understands like this is what it takes to be a consistent shooter.
Exactly. And just different ways, not just set shots, coming off screens, like
off the dribble,
tired, running from half court and back. So yeah.
I used to do that. I used to do that with my brother.
Yeah.
Do the shot, run half court back,
exactly.
Same spot. You gotta make a certain amount. Yep.
Exactly. So I say that because our next player of the year, he was only like a 33% 3-point shooter. But he was more like a slasher, athletic type. So crossover, 3, bam, hits it. 5 seconds left. I remember his name. He's a short point guard. Chris, it wasn't Braswell. That's somebody else, but his name is Chris something.
Georgetown or something like that.
Yeah, but 5 seconds left. I'm the defensive guy, so I'm guarding him, trying to turn him, waste time. He takes a step back 3. I got long arms, so I know you're not supposed to jump, but I knew he had created separation. So I was like, all right, I'm not jumping to you, but I'm just jumping up. Yeah. Yes. Hits off the front of the rim. We win it. My teammate who hit the shot, he run. And mind you, we played in Indiana at the Ford Center. So that's a 2-hour drive from Bellarmine. That's a 9-hour drive. So they had home court advantage. They brought like 2,000 fans.
They were bus fans and all that. Yeah, gotcha.
Yeah, we bus fans too, but they had a lot more.
Yeah.
They were talking crazy. During the game, I had the T-Max on, the mismatch. Somebody took a picture of me and put it on Twitter, say, go home, Florida Southern, you're drunk. Because I had my Mix-Max T-Max on. And so we went over there to the student section, and he did the Sam Cassell, I got big balls. Right? Yeah. And we just talking crazy trash to them. We didn't shake hands. But that's more so because they didn't want to wait around for us to stop celebrating.
Oh, okay.
Like it was funny. One of their players actually came to our bus and like dapped us up. Like we didn't realize. So so after that, like I was borderline tears like that game. I didn't cry, but I was like, yo, because it was just surreal. Like, bro, I'm gonna be playing on CBS. I'm
Yeah.
going to win the national championship. Like, and this game that I was unsure of how it was going to end. It was, oh man, it was surreal. So we get a day of rest in between the national. So mind you, we also this what happened. Even before our game, the other contenders played. It was IUP versus Charleston State.
Okay, Charleston State's now.
Yeah.
Now
So then
D1.
so everybody D1 now, what's up us? But but Charleston State was playing IUP. And before we went in the locker room, Charleston State, they were more like us, more athletic. They were more of a blacker team. And
Yeah, they're in Texas, I think.
Yeah, they're out Texas. And they had some crazy run. We were watching them from the tunnel. And they had an oop. IUP had a call timeout. So we went back in the locker room like, damn, we gotta play. If we beat Bellarmine, we gotta play with Charleston State.
Yeah.
We come out.
Tough one.
Yeah, we come out. Somehow Charleston State lost. We like, what the heck? we don't know how, but they lost.
Yeah.
So we're like, all right, cool. But anyways, the next day we here's the thing. Before the game of the championship, we have a day of rest game plan, and we go to the starters from each team go to the facility to do some like green screen stuff because it's going to be on CBS. So
yeah.
we, doing a little introductions,
fives and stuff like that.
Playing with the ball, all that. So we in the hotel waiting on a bus to get here. My teammate who just hit the shot, I come out to the lobby. This man is on his knees, throwing up, shaking. I lie to you not, right? We like, what happened? My teammate, who's his roommate, was like, I don't know, bro. He's in the middle of the night. He just started woken up, talking about his stomach hurt, whatever. Like he's shaking.
Yeah.
Like, and this is
severely ill.
This is what I'm saying. This is a outgoing person. This is a extrovert we talking about, right? So we don't know what's going on. They end up taking him to urgent care. So it's just us four who go to the facility. Mm-hmm. I come back to the hotel. This man is walking. He's looking a little better, but he's walking around the hotel with an IV in his arm. Yes. All right. Mm-hmm. When I talk about a flu, like you couldn't make. I'm like, yo, this can't be happening. Biggest game of my life, and my leading scorer
has the flu.
Yeah, and I don't know if he's going to play. All right, we gotta see how he feels. Mm-hmm. Right, or even isn't up to his best.
Yeah, even if he does play, is he gonna be a decoy? Is he even So
like I remember we had a pregame or a meal that night. We went out to like Benihana's. He can only eat certain stuff. He had to be on a strict diet, all that. So game of the championship, we get an hour to warm up. Mm-hmm. 30 minutes is like the official warm up time. We actually gotta go back, put our jersey on for TV and all that. But we have an hour actually. So we used that hour, of course. And so at the 30-minute mark, I remember coming back into the locker room. And this man is on the floor in a hoodie, sleep. 30 minutes before the game.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I'm like, yo, Kev, what? I didn't wake him up, but I'm just like, yo, this can't be like.
I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, he not playing.
Yeah, like, yo, I'm like, bro, please. Like, I'm praying to God. He feel better, right? And so he's on it's kind of minister restriction thing. We're gonna see how he feels, but take him out when he can. So we it was surreal being there too. Just like I said, all the fans there. Of course, not as packed as like the D1 would be, but it was most fans I've played in my life. At least 10K for sure. And he comes out and hits his first 3 threes.
That's tough.
And he's like a 32% 3-point shooter. One of them being a 4-point play. And I'm like, I had never seen that. He's one of the players when the lights is on.
He's a gamer.
Yes, he's a gamer.
He's a gamer, yeah.
Because when I tell you, and part of the reason my defense is so good, because I had to check him in practice. Like he hated when I checked him in practice. So when I tell you, he's one of the players, like when you know somebody's moves, like you can match up with him better. So he don't go off on us in practice because we know all his moves, we know his tendencies.
You see him every day.
Yeah, exactly. We know what we're going up against. But this man came out, hit his first 3 threes, and I was just in awe. Because like I said, he's not even one of the best 3-point shooting shooters on the team.
Yeah.
This man's sick with sleep in the locker room 30 minutes before. And And like I said, he's on CBS on TV. Anyways, he ended up playing like 20 minutes or 19 minutes, had like 21 points.
That's
Um,
that's
yeah. As a matter of fact,
that's
he was defensive
crazy.
player of the year. Yeah, he only averaged like 29 minutes. He averaged 21.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy minutes.
But like I said, we had a squad in general. He was just ahead of it.
Yeah.
And that's what a lot of teams. I talked to a lot of teams. They're like, bro, game plan for y'all is hard because it could be anybody's night.
It's not
like
like we stop him and it's over. It's like
like
we
I said,
stop him, they got many options.
we went 10 deep. Because that Bellarmine game, he had a horrible game. He's ended up hitting the game winning shot.
Mm-hmm.
He probably shot like 30% from the game for the field that game.
Yeah.
But he's just a gamer. So I say that IUP, they were a tough team. They just weren't offensively. They were just a little offensively challenged for us.
Yeah.
IUP
might need to go back to D2.
But it was just one of those better offense from us. So we ended up winning the championship by 15, and due to that, it didn't hit the same as that Final Four. It's like,
man, I don't know what you talking about.
Y'all
blew them out. It wasn't a close game. It wasn't no game winner.
No, I was happy.
It's still the natty.
I got you. It felt good. You finally hear it felt like Thanos. Like, I can rest now. All is done. I can rest. But what I'm saying, comparing it to my emotions of that Final Four, because like I said, I know Bellarmine was a much tougher matchup and better team. Like, that should have been the championship.
Yeah.
And if that had been on CBS, ratings would have been through the roof.
Yeah.
Right. And so we might have been on SportsCenter that night. You never know. But it's just so ironic that the year afterwards, now they implement this rule at the Elite Eight. They reseed you.
That's crazy.
Right? So it was cool. We celebrated. I remember we went to some steak and lobster joint afterwards, real small, like boutique place. I don't know. Hey, we had the school card.
Hey, you ain't gotta worry about it.
I don't know. That was my first time me ever having a bill over $150. They made sure not to bring us to a restaurant that didn't serve alcohol. So that was a bummer. But if we go back to school, man, listen, we could get away with murder. We could do no wrong.
Sound like University of Georgia.
Yeah, just except for us, much smaller campus.
Yeah.
Like we had as many students as we did in high school with Flowers. It was good. It was good though, but for intimacy when it comes to like faculty and staff and all that. But yeah, bro, we had so many places we had to like show up to and just like take pictures out in town in the state of Florida. Like they almost flew us to Tallahassee to the governor's office.
Oh, that's tough.
So they almost did it.
Yeah,
they almost did it. But then they realized like we got to spend this money just so they could give us some declaration of whatever. So we still got the declaration of whatever day that was for us. Yeah, they just sent it down. But nah, bro, it was a hell of an experience, bro. And I tell people to this day, that's the greatest accomplishment. I got a doctorate and all that. I say that's the greatest accomplishment I ever had in my life. That's it,
man. It's a tough achievement. And I mean, not to down the doctor because obviously that's 10 years of school, but not too many people could say they won a national championship at any level.
Exactly. Like I said, part of being a doctor is getting accepted. Once you get accepted, it's just following through. It's more people say that they got a doctorate than people can say they got a national championship.
Exactly.
So hey, that and just it just capped off my basketball career in a way where I was like, you know what, I can ride off into the sunset. I ain't gotta. People ask me, hey, you gonna go overseas? Nah, I'm good. I'm good.
Yeah, that was your last.
I mean, college actually won their last game.
I was about to say, I was trying to figure out because it's not your last actual basketball game because you do stuff like that, but last, I want to say organized, like high school, collegiate, professional, like that type of game.
And it made my choice of going there very fulfilling because I turned down some offers coming out of PG where I could have had a bigger role or been the man, right? But when I was getting recruited from Florida Southern, my coach kept it 100 with me. He was like, you're probably not going to play 35 minutes. You're going to play 20, but you're going to be on winning team. He was like, we're the Dukes of Kentucky's the D2. And it wasn't a lie. So just me like being okay and sacrificing just my ego, You
Yeah, it was a
know,
full circle moment.
yeah, full circle moment where it played out, and hey, I have no regrets at all. Shoot, uh, yeah, man, that's the story for that. But yeah, and only regret I have was graduating because we played Duke the next year.
Oh, okay.
Duke always plays the D2 national champion. And
Okay.
so we
Who's
won it
that?
the same year Duke had won it too. I won it the same year Quinn won it. Quinn and
Okay, yeah, so that was 2015.
yeah. And I always say,
Oh,
had
your
we
senior
played
year was
Duke,
my senior year. That's right.
yeah. I said, had we played Duke, we would have gave them a run for their money.
I
Now,
don't know, bro.
we would have gave. I'm trying to tell you, we would have gave them the same run for the money we did Florida and Tennessee.
I'm trying to
Right?
remember who was on that 2016 Duke team
It
because
was
they
Brandon
lost a
Ingram.
lot.
Brandon Ingram.
Yeah, because I'm about to say they lost Winslow, they lost Tyus Jones, they lost
Quinn.
Okafor, they lost Quinn.
Yeah,
They lost a ton.
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I said we would have gave them a run for their money.
Was it Grayson Allen? Was Grayson Allen on 2016?
Yeah.
Grayson, Ingram. Tatum ain't come yet. Tatum came the year after.
Nah, I feel like they had another guard.
Trayvon Duval?
Yeah, I think it was.
Duval was there that 2016?
Yeah, might have been Duval.
Yeah, it might have been Duval. It's a big I'm missing. I think Emil Jefferson was still there or there at the time.
Yeah, but yeah, we like I said, when it came to our guard play, like I said, we used to get killed, not killed, but like the separation between the higher level D1s was the bigs. Like for example, a lot of D1s did not want to play us. Like
that's how it is in college football too. Like this lower level teams have the skills, but they don't have the trenches.
Yeah, the line and all that. And so I remember going back to that junior year, but my senior year. So I don't know why we didn't play anybody like I did junior year, like the Florida's, Tennessee's, but we did have a close scrimmage with Florida Gulf Coast.
Okay, Dunk City. Well, not that they weren't Dunk City then.
Yeah, they weren't Dunk City. They were like 2 years removed.
Yeah.
But they only accepted it if it was a closed scrimmage.
Yeah.
Where you reset the clocks after each quarter or whatever.
That's kind of
no fans. Yeah. So we beat them. Of course, we added up the quarters. We beat them.
That's why they did that.
Yeah, but a lot of D1s would not play us because they had nothing to. It's like people think we're supposed to beat y'all,
but they don't know. It's kind of like Miami of Ohio this year, where nobody bought them, so they had a terrible strength of schedule.
So I know exactly how they feel. Yeah. And yeah, so it's just interesting. Like I tell people all the time, like. I say I'm honorary D1. I don't care what y'all say.
You played against West Georgia and Bellarmine are both in the A-Sun in D1 now. Now it was a little later when you were gone, but it still happened.
Yeah, and keep it 100. It's funny because Bellarmine didn't go D1 right after we played them, but it was soon afterwards. And their first year in D1, their first year in D1, they won the A-Sun.
That's what I was about to bring up. They won the A-Sun tournament, but couldn't go to the tournament because of that stupid
probationary
transition rule. I hate that transition rule. I hate that rule, man. And so that's what I was gonna bring up. The fact that they've never won the A-Sun tournament again. So they've literally never gone dancing. But when they had a chance to go dancing, you had that stupid transition rule. Just like Mercyhurst. Mercyhurst didn't win a tournament, but they made the championship game, and it wouldn't have mattered if they would have won or not. Because LIU was already in due to the transition rule. I feel like if I can play for my conference tournament and I can win it, let me go dancing. Like what?
Like I kind of get it if you're a D1 school. If you're a D1 school going down to D2, right? But if I'm coming up from a lower level, what's deemed to be a lower level, and I beat my competition at the higher level, I've earned that. I've earned it. I've earned it.
That's why I hate the transition. I really do. It burned JMU. It burned JMU too.
Appreciate you, Joe. Luke Kennard.
Hey, Joe's the reason why we have this podcast today. So shout out Joe. But
shout out Joe, man.
I hate it. It's in football too. Like Jack State couldn't play for their conference championship their first year in D1, even though I think they were at play for it. They ended up winning it the next year, so it didn't matter. And they couldn't even play a bowl game. The only reason why they got in a bowl game is because they were short on teams. So they played Louisiana and won the bowl game, mind you. The team that wasn't supposed to play a bowl game due to the rule actually won their bowl game because there weren't enough bowl teams, and it happened to JMU. JMU could have played for the Sun Belt Championship, couldn't because of the transition rule. They didn't even play a bowl game. They didn't even give Jamie a bowl game. Both years with Cignetti, he couldn't play for his title or a bowl game because of the stupid rule, and so it was trash. But
yeah, had we my team played in this era, we wouldn't have won it. We wouldn't have won it.
I don't know. I don't know how crazy D2 NIL would be.
So my school has NIL.
Okay.
A little bit. It's not as much, but they like. So for example, and I say we wouldn't have won it because we half of us wouldn't have been there.
Okay.
Like my leading scorer would have been the SEC. My second leading scorer would have been in the MAC.
They definitely would have.
Like our team would have been split up.
Y'all. Yeah, you talking about D1s would have plucked y'all team, got you.
Yeah, for sure.
Definitely happening. Even Florida State, I think, got a not Florida State, South Florida got a D2.
No, Florida State do too. So it's funny. This year, so Florida, my alma mater, my alma mater, the top 2 leading scorers from last year went D1.
Shout out to them.
One went to Florida State. His name's Alex Steen.
Gotcha.
Right. He actually, I think he starts for Florida State. Okay. And the other, his name's Jaden Booth. He went to Sanford. And he actually,
I think I actually know him.
He was SoCon Player of the Year.
Yeah, I was about to say I think I actually know him.
And he came from my school. Yeah.
So definitely shout out to him.
Yeah. He was a bucket at Florida Southern. So they both started. It was both teammates at Florida Southern last year, and then left. One went to the ACC, and then one was SoCon Player of the Year. So I just showed you.
And like I said, Bennett Sturts. You got Duncan Robinson was D3, went to Michigan.
Yeah.
So you definitely got feel good stories.
So like I said, that walking into Florida Southern my junior year, like I was like, where am I going to play at? Because we were just that nice in the bit, like every next man up, like it, and it's kind of like iron sharpens iron.
Yeah.
So like it forced me, and our culture was good. So like everybody got up shots outside of practice, like it was unusual not to hear a ball bouncing outside of practice.
Basically, the D1 college basketball atmosphere.
Yes, exactly. You know, because our coach required that of us too. But it's like, hey, if I want to get on the floor, I want to keep my minutes, or just and not just keep your minutes, because we all got minutes. My coach went pretty deep, but just like when your time is called, or you want to be able to contribute. You don't want to be the one who's slacking when you see everybody else putting their work.
Got you.
Man,
that's a great atmosphere, man. I'm definitely happy for you, proud of you, all your successes.
Yeah, appreciate it.
PhD, being a PT, all that. I'm sorry this turned into. I promise y'all, we talked about the bracket for 1 hour and 45 minutes. I promise y'all we did. It's the first hour 45 minutes. It's there. Trust me. I know this turned it from bracket talk to an interview.
I know, right?
I promise y'all bracket talk is in there. A lot of it. So make sure if you missed it, you go back and watch it. We got upsets, we got dark horses, players to watch from each region. We didn't pick a winner from each region. Just honestly, I didn't want to do that because I'm gonna save that for the bracket.
Cool.
But definitely appreciate you coming on, talking about the bracket. First time being on the show, man. It was a pleasure. It was an honor. Any last words for the people out there? May God favor your brackets, man. I appreciate you for having me, and even the platform was Refuse to Lose Sports Network for even having this. Joe, shout out to you for making this happen too. But man, let's just have a good March. Hopefully, a good entertaining March. And best of luck to everybody in their brackets. Man, I got big shoes to fill, man. Last year, I had a perfect bracket through the first day and a half.
Oh, that's cool.
I forgot who ruined it for me. I think I only had one game wrong in the round of 64.
Wow.
So I know people probably gonna come back and be like, "Hey, man,
the locks."
Yeah, I got big shoes to fill. I know because I keep track of my NIT record and my tournament record throughout me picking games. And I want to say NIT I went 27-9 or 28-9, and I want to say tournament I went like 55-10 or whatever that is. I know I had 10 losses, can't remember the amount of wins.
Nice,
but really my round of 68 kind of screwed me over. I went 2-2 round of 68, but I know I got big shoes to fill. I'm gonna try my best as always to bring y'all the best of my ability. Please, I just want. It felt good to have a perfect bracket through day one. I ain't gonna lie. I think that was the first time that ever happened.
You started look shopping, going on Amazon. What am I going?
Man, look, I was checking the app. Like, please tell me a lot of people fell off already. Boy, I never had a perfect bracket through day one. That felt amazing. So even with like upsets and everything, I'm like, oh, I called this, I called that. Let's go.
Or even like I said, picking the right upsets.
Yeah,
because everybody's different upsets. So. Nah,
I want to try to remember so much who ruined it. I can't though for the life of me right now. Remember, I wonder if I could bring up my old bracket. Probably not. But yeah,
you should have printed that out. Shoot, yeah, that's when you got to print out and put on your refrigerator.
I didn't even think about it, to be honest with you. I promise, I never thought about it. But I mean, the R2L community, they knew they was actually rooting for me to have a perfect bracket through 2 days. Unfortunately, like I said, it didn't work out like that. But it is what it is. I'm excited, man. I seen the NIT field. I seen the CBC field. I'm actually surprised why Oklahoma accepted the college basketball crown tournament. Excuse me, and not the NIT. That's absolutely insane to me. But you do what you want with whatever you got. But I'm excited, man, for all this college basketball. I will be picking games tomorrow. I'll be picking the NIT tomorrow. We got like 4 to 6 NIT games. I will be picking the 2 round of 68 games tomorrow. So I'm just happy we got college basketball back. Again, thank you to my guest Tyler or Tilo, as we call him, for pulling up to the podcast. I know it's a long one, but I had fun doing it. 2.5 hours. Don't even feel like we've been on for 2.5 hours, to be honest with you. But I will be back tomorrow around 5:00 to pick these games. And just like Tyler said with my bracket, and may God be with me and my record and my bracket. Because if I have a bad one, I know I'm going to hear from it. But please, again, like, comment, share, and subscribe to the YouTube, all the shows we have on the channel. And yeah, with that, my man said his final words, and we're gone. I'll see y'all tomorrow. All right. Peace.
Thank you for staying to the end. If you're watching this on YouTube, please like this video, subscribe, and also hit that notification button so you can be notified next time we put out a video. If you're listening on any podcast platform, subscribe and hit that notification button, y'all, so you can be notified we put out another podcast audio. And last but not least, hit that share button. No matter what you're listening to or watching it, hit that share button and send it to somebody that you know that would love to watch this episode you just listened to. So once again, thank you for staying to the end, and we'll see y'all in the next episode.